physical abuse, even economical abuse, because you'll find that someone offers them a job, and simply because they know that this person has challenges, maybe intellectual challenges, you find that they are being underpaid.
Differently able.
It's Women's Africa Cup of Nations, Morocco.
Feel the pulse of a continent, where Africa's fiercest women warriors clash for glory in the Women's Africa Cup of Nations 2024. Africa's top teams, one crown. Morocco hosts once more, ready to etch new legends into history. Rising stars, one stage to shine.
And it is the Copa Queen. They have been waiting for this moment. Here's a chance for a second. South African lead by 2-0 in this final, and he'll never higher.
This is more than football, it's African excellence. It's women's power. Don't miss WAFCON 2024, live from Morocco.
Beautiful Thursday morning, and we as the Good Morning Kenya team are here to ensure that you start off your day just right. Today is a Thursday, and as we always say right here on this show, Thursday is the new Friday. Entertainment Thursday it is, and today we have a packed up show. You do not want to miss any bit of it. We'll be having the one and only reggae artist who goes by the name Shasha Male, all the way from Ghana. Do you know any of his songs? Let me just to, you know, jot your mind a bit. There's this song in Imboaje, I'm not ashamed of the gospel of Christ. Yes. Did we lose you? No. That one at least.
For the first time, I'm on that bus.
Amazing.
Right.
I love how that song.
I'm on that bus. My only request is, does the DJ have that particular song? Can you even play it, you know?
Yeah.
Mwache mime.
At least we know the beats and some words, you know.
She knows the lyrics, I know the beats.
Oh, you know. Perfect combio.
I mean, I do a tune bus.
Amazing. Sasa DJ unajua?
I have the song.
Nice. There we have it. So we will be having the one and only Shasha Male right here later on Entertainment Thursday. We'll also be having a conversation on the fashion industry, and we'll be trying to look at the trends of fashion in Kenya. And do we have a specific identity when it comes to fashion and style as Kenyans? We'll be having fashion enthusiasts and people in the fashion industry coming through for that conversation, among many other things that will be happening right here on the show. So you do not want to miss any bit of it. I repeat yet again. DJ,
yes.
What do you have lined up for us today?
Kama kawa kama dawa, welcome to the show today. Tukielekea ule upande, but before tuelekea Jamaica.
Huko ni Ghana.
Oh, Ghana.
Yeah.
Ghana, sorry. Yeah. Before tuelekea Ghana, so let us watch to maintain Kenya kidogo. The new music that is released. Let's talk about Calligraph Jones. He has a new song in it, Koshore. Very, very beautiful song. Baraka by Rojomo, alificha Cannibal, Chikuze, na Nyota Ndogo. Very, very beautiful song. So you need to go there, pale YouTube, to check it out. Out again, Nameless featuring Uaya. This song is just amazing on its own. There's another Wakadinali, Zakimoto. Zakimodo. Very nice song. So, very beautiful song. So, kama hujaisikia, hapa no place unasikia ya kwanza.
Why are you laughing, Regina?
I think the DJ is addressing me through the national broadcaster, but hey, Thursday is the new Friday. We're doing entertainment. I might as well get updated on what is out there in as far as our music industry. So it's okay. It's all right.
Absolutely. Mike Wegwe.
Yes.
What do you have for us?
Well, in that spirit of conversations, we just want to take a laid-back approach and talk about matters to do with the youth. You know, the church has called the youth to move away from their quote-unquote hard stance, and on the other hand, the government has been told to listen to the grievances that have been raised. You know, the youth are raising matters to do with justice, good governance, etc. But who is listening? That is the question we are asking today. So that is a conversation I'll be having immediately after the news. So you want to tune into that? Yes. Ray.
Well, as far as news is concerned, you can bet. Do you know, there's a journalism class. I don't know, depending on when you went to class, but it says whatever bleeds leads. So you can bet in the news is nothing to smile about per se. But nonetheless, we keep going because a journalist or a scribe should be the watchdog of the society, right?
That's true.
So we have news updates. Not too good news, but news nonetheless. And available also on our website, that is www.kbc.co.ke, before we get into matters entertainment. Now we start off in Nyamache sub-county in Kisii, where residents of Sugbo village were left startled after a man aged over 50 years allegedly killed his wife and fed her flesh to the family before he was lynched by angry residents. Suspicious residents ransacked his home and stumbled on the body parts after he was seen with his 2 children without their mother for a couple of days.
Ubo village in Nyacheki, Ward Nyamache sub-county of Kisii County, are a shocked and furious lot. They have witnessed an unbelievable incident where a man believed to be over 50 years of age not only killed his wife, but fed her flesh to the family.
Hiyo jamaa ametusangaza na matendo yake hapa. Sana. Alikuwa bibi ya kwanza na huyu ni wa pili. Sasa huyu jamaa ametuzinda na hapa. Kabisa.
Naambia watoto, mama yenu anaenda kwa atarudi. Alikuwa anaambia watoto hivyo. Sanga sana bwana.
The residents say they became suspicious of Stephen Onserio when they saw him in the company of his 2 children without their mother for a couple of days. They arrested him after he was unable to explain the whereabouts of his wife.
Immediately the community were very angry and they started mob justice in him and they beat him until he died. In the process they found the body.
Kakucha, ngapata watoto hapa kwa njia. Ngaona ni machozi, ngabachukua.
The residents stormed his home and found a skull and a decomposed limb. Nyamache Sub-County Police Commander Kipkemoi Kipkulei says the matter is being investigated by the Directorate of Criminal Investigations as the remaining body parts were moved to Kisii Teaching and Referral Hospital mortuary.
I'm just calling upon the members of the public that in case they know, because actually they are the ones who are living with these people in the villages there. In case they see people who are maybe suspicious, it is good they alert the police or the government officers.
Okay. I literally don't know what to say because that is a lifetime of trauma to the children. Like you fed on the flesh of your mother. And the perpetrator who did this was your dad, who is dead because the community took justice into their hands. What does that make you? A traumatized orphan for life. Kisii, people from Kisii. What can we say? Something needs to give, right? Okay. Albert Ojwang's family has called for swift justice for their son, who was reported dead while in police custody early last month. During his requiem mass at the Rejoice Baptist Church, Kiambu Road, the mourners also eulogized Ojwang as a law-abiding and hard-working person, calling for an end to extrajudicial killings. Here's a recap of that.
Family, friends and Kenyans at large on Wednesday congregated at Rejoice Baptist Church along Kiambu Road, Nairobi for the memorial mass of Albert Ojwang.
I pray that there will be no divisions. Touch the hearts of those that you put in the places of authority.
The blogger and teacher was reported dead a day after he was picked up by police officers from his home in Homa Bay early last month.
Nataka niseme ya kwamba damu hiyo ya Albert ambayo imemwagika bila hatia, walio na uwezo kuona kwamba wanachukua damu ya maisha ya wenzi wao na kumwaga damu ili wabakie katika hali yao na kuficha uovu wao, lakini hawatakuwa na amani katika maisha yao. Sababu Kain, Mungu alitamka ya kwamba damu ya Abel inamlilia.
As they eulogized the father of one as a law-abiding young Kenyan whose future was mysteriously cut short, his family said they had lost their only child and breadwinner.
Nimesema pole sana kwa mtoto wangu. Alitolewa kwa mkono wangu kama nimempa chakula aweze kukula.
Nyathani uko mwenye ukatakuona.
Hakuchuna hata ugali.
Baba na noma kwa manalo tukanyathini wa chakula cha maloto polisi ochopo.
Wakati alitaka kwanza kukula, polisi wakafika.
Albert left at a time where I didn't expect that he would live, but it was God's timing, and us as human beings, we can't do anything about it. It's heavy on us, it's heavy on me, it's heavy on my son. He actually doesn't know anything that is going on, but
the Ojwang family also clarified speculations surrounding a financial support it had received from various people of goodwill.
The family wished to confirm that yes, they received 2 million shillings from the head of state, 1 million shillings from Honorable Raila Odinga, and 2 million shillings from Kenyans generally, who gave them in the form of 1 shilling, 10 shillings, 100 shillings, 1,000 shillings, totaling 5,060,000.
Albert Ojwang's remains will be transported to his home in Homa Bay tomorrow, ahead of his burial on Friday. As mourners condole with the family of the late Albert Omondi Ojwang, who died in the hands of police, the clarion call is end police brutality immediately.
May his soul rest in peace, and may justice be served for the family, as well as a son who is going to grow up without his dad. Now, the Communications Authority of Kenya now says its directive to suspend live broadcasts for media houses on June 25th protest was not an absolute ban on media coverage. Judge Chacha Mwita was informed by the Director General David Mugonyi that it was compelled to act after routine monitoring revealed that live coverage had escalated tensions in the country. The Kenya Editors Guild and the Kenya Union of Journalists had rushed to court, citing that the attempted blackout set a dangerous precedent and that warrants judicial scrutiny. The judge has directed all parties to consolidate their petitions in the matter ahead of further directions in October this year.
In court documents, the Communication Authority of Kenya has given out reasons why it barred television and radio stations from airing broadcasts of the anti-government demonstration held on June 25th. According to the CA Director General David Mugonyi, the broadcasters had failed to activate the required delay mechanism, resulting in the unfiltered airing of the graphic and inflammatory content. CA pointed out on incidents of violence that erupted, including looting in Nairobi, Thika, Nakuru, and the burning of Kikuyu law courts and Kikuyu police stations as evidence that live broadcast. The court was also told that the measures taken are not only a local requirement, but a recognized international best practice designed to minimize harm in live broadcasts. The matter is set to return on 27th October with Justice Chacha Mwita urging all the petitioners to consolidate their cases since they raise similar issues. The affected media houses have broadcasting following interim orders that were issued by the judge on June 25th. Ruth Wamboi for Good Morning, Kenya.
President William Ruto has challenged Africa to step forward and harness its strength for growth. Now the head of state challenged continental leaders not only to invest in agriculture and manufacturing, but extend investment to service technologies, as well as human capital and a means of employment and wealth creation. He spoke in London during the Africa Debate 2025.
Africa's abundance of natural resources should be used to power global progress. Ruto is using the African Debate 2025 to challenge African leaders to include trade and services, technology and human capital to be part of a continent's source of wealth.
This dual reality shows clearly that Africa's growth path cannot be either or proposition. We cannot choose strictly between investing in services or supporting our primary industries. That would be a counterproductive and false dichotomy. We must do both simultaneously.
He says Kenya's bottom-up economic transformation agenda has set the pace as it seeks to create employment and wealth at the base through programs such as the Affordable Housing Project.
In Kenya today, we are modernizing agriculture to increase productivity, enhance food security, and develop agro-processing value chains that add value and create decent jobs. We are also advancing industrialization to build competitive manufacturing capacity, substitute imports, diversify exports, and anchor resilient local supply chains.
What African people want from Britain is exactly what British people
holds trust and delivers prosperity. Speaking during the signing ceremony between the Nairobi International Financial Center Authority and Lloyds, Ruto termed the formal announcement of Lloyds' intention to establish a...
Kenya is home to one of the most advanced financial ecosystems in Africa, with mobile banking, digital payments, and fintech innovations that have expanded financial inclusion to over 80% adult population, up from 6 in 2006.
Kenya is on a charm offensive there in the UK, especially to woo investors post the Brexit, with some of the areas that Kenya is fronting for investment being manufacturing, the digital economy, as well as green financing, so to speak. Takes trial over the controversial Uasin Gishu Overseas Education Program resumed at the Nakuru Law Courts on Thursday, with embattled Senator Jackson Mandago and 2 former county officials back in the dock. The trio face charges linked to alleged mismanagement of over 1.1 billion shillings in public funds. One parent testifying in court yesterday shared a heartbreaking account of broken promises, lost opportunities, and partial refunds. Ben Chumba has more.
At the heart of today's court proceedings, a painful testimony.
an activist. I'm requesting for my money.
Edward Kiptet, a parent who entrusted the Uasin Gishu Overseas Education Program with his daughter's future, told the Nakuru locals how he paid 2.5 million, a sum meant to secure their studies in Canada or Finland. However, those dreams never materialized.
In total, the money, 1,915,200 remained. So I'm now still following this money.
Kiptet testified that after the program fell apart, he received only a partial refund of 600,000 shillings, leaving both his children's education and his finances in limbo.
You've been leading other parents, agitating and complaining about this issue. You are not dealing with your own problem, but you took it upon yourself as an activist.
I know it's my right to agitate for my right, to demonstrate, to picket. The Constitution allows me to do that.
Have you ever voted in Uasin Gishu from the advent of the county government?
My money is not about voting. And I have right to live everywhere in this country. Nairobi, Nakuru, Eldoret, anywhere. And everybody has a right even to come and live in Baringo.
Facing the allegations in court, Uasin Gishu Senator Jackson Mandago, along with former county officials Joshua Lilei and Meshach Rono. The case, tied to the alleged embezzlement of over 1.1 billion shillings, continues to draw national attention as more victims come forward.
May justice finally be served for these parents as well as guardians and their children whose, education hangs in a balance. We'll be keeping tabs on that. Remember, today is also this particular hearing is ongoing in Nakuru, and we have a reporter keeping tabs on the developments. Now, political regimes, or rather in terms of democracy, is that political regimes in Africa have been criticized for clawing back the gains on democratic rights. At a democracy forum convened in Nairobi, speakers decried the return of coup d'etats and the suppression of divergent opinions and civil rights. Governments in the region were instead urged to safeguard constitutional freedoms while balancing national security concerns.
Convened in Nairobi by the International Commission of Jurists Kenya and the Innovation Foundation for Democracy, reflection on events in the continent painted a picture of democracy under siege.
We are here because we are concerned that democracy that we have been given in its form or its equivalent is taking away our freedoms, it's taking away our rights, that we are not safe in countries where we were born. We are neither safe in the region where we think we belong. And therefore we are saying we need a democracy that can give us back what belongs to us.
Globally, democracy, liberal democracy is in crisis. At a time too when in our own continent, a process of erosion of democratic principles is unfolding, as we see in West Africa with the return to coup d'etat.
Kenya also came under criticism over the Public Order Amendment Bill 2025, which seeks to control public protests.
Parliamentarians who have been captured, unfortunately, take laws to Parliament to enact laws that take away our spirit of fighting for this country, that take away our freedom to access information, that take away our safety.
They stress the role of civil society in promoting accountability and protecting democratic values while working collaboratively with state institutions to strengthen governance frameworks.
I ask Kenyans and the East Africans and people in Africa region, please harness the anger. And when the anger is right, we shall rise.
We are here to, on the one hand, celebrate these future-oriented actions while taking a proper stock of the obstacles we are facing if we are to regenerate our continent.
You're tossing the applause towards them. Everyone.
Now, did you know that some of the fruit juices, soft drinks, skincare products, soaps, and even toothpaste that you use could be a fake? Now, a new anti-counterfeit consumer survey of 2025 shows that 8 out of 10 Kenyans have come across counterfeit products. Even more worrying, fake antibiotics and malaria drugs top the list, making up nearly 90% of counterfeit medicine, posing a serious threat to your health. Here's a detailed report.
Goods continue to flood the Kenyan market, affecting both consumers and genuine businesses. According to the Anti-Counterfeit Authority, 1 out of every 5 products sold in Kenya is fake, leading to a loss of over 800 billion shillings each year. The 2025 survey highlights that most affected sectors are medicine and agriculture. Antibiotics and malaria drugs are the most counterfeited at 89.28%. In agriculture, 89.16% of Kenyans say they have come across fake pesticides, insecticides, fertilizer, and animal feeds. Personal care items like skincare products, toothpaste, shampoos, and sanitizers account for 88.32% of counterfeit goods. In the automotive industry, fake car parts and accessories come in at 81.89%. Construction materials such as cement, paving blocks, and roofing tiles are also affected, with 76.72% of Kenyans saying they have encountered fake versions. Petroleum products, including fuel and lubricants, follow closely at 76.68%. Even popular non-alcoholic drinks like fruit juices and sodas are being counterfeited, making up 75.89% of reported cases. Alcoholic drinks are not spared either, with wine leading at 50.12%, followed by beer at 47.44%, whiskey 42.68%, and vodka 36.95%. Anti-Counterfeit Authority Executive Director Robin Bogwa raised concerns about the rise of counterfeit sales through online platforms, which the report shows online platforms accounted for 31.27% of counterfeit purchases. He also noted that many consumers choose cheaper products, often ignoring the risk that they could be fake. Most of the counterfeit goods were being purchased from street sellers at 59.37%, shops or kiosks 54.42%, followed by supermarkets at 21%.
Now you know what to look for, the diamond mark of quality, given 8 out of 10, Kenyans have come across a fake item. You see, there's a difference between substandard, right, and counterfeit, or rather fake. There's a huge difference about that. You can look it up. They have a website there that you can just look at what you need to do to ensure that you are using the right product for the right thing, and that it is okay for human consumption. That takes us to sports, where athletes from 75 nations across the world have confirmed participation in the 4th edition of the Nairobi City Marathon, slated for this Saturday. Now, Athletics Kenya President, retired Lieutenant General Jackson Tuwei, also confirmed that the prize money for the winner of this particular marathon will be a cool 3.5 million Kenya shillings.
An electrifying atmosphere will be witnessed in this year's edition of the Nairobi City Marathon, which has attracted participation of athletes from 75 nations. Kenyan top creams, including 2 times Paris Marathon champion Paul Lonyangata, Edward Cheserek, and this year's Eldoret City Marathon champion Viola Chepngeno will be battling for top honors in this year's edition.
This year's theme is I Love Nairobi. Can we all say I love Nairobi? Thank you very much. This is great. And let us actually love Nairobi. Let us make it more peaceful. Let's make it more attractive. Let us green Nairobi.
The winner of the 42-kilometer race will pocket a whopping 3.5 million shillings, while the runners-up and the second runners-up will receive 2.25 million and 1.5 million shillings respectively.
Everybody is watching you, they are clapping for you, they are cheering you. So you can see it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy. And it goes all the way up to number 22 on the main and the rest half marathon.
Meanwhile, the winner of the half marathon will receive 150,000 shillings, while the runners-up and second runners will receive 80,000 shillings and 50,000 shillings respectively.
That puts a cap on Matters News this morning. Some of the developing stories that we're keenly focusing on is if the government is going to reach an agreement with the Kenya NAT, that is in regard to a 7-day notice that was issued 2 days before to honor a collective bargaining agreement that was set for 2021-2022. Then also we're going to be looking at matters of justice, and as far as the Finland saga is concerned, it continues at the Nakuru Law Courts today. We pray that justice is going to be served there. Now that I hand you over to Mike for the next conversation, remember Thursday is the new Friday right here, and we're talking about entertainment. So later, DJ Unique as well as Vivian are going to be hosting one of a renowned reggae artists all the way from Ghana. This is Shasha Male. And if you do not know their songs, you might as well get online and get to know. Be part of the conversation. Get us on X at KBC Channel 1. Have a blessed day ahead.
How comes round hii mnakubali kupatia mtu pesa, stranger from nowhere?
You are not a stranger, wewe ni caretaker wetu.
Very good. Na caretaker yuko na right ya kuitisha pesa ya nyumba? Atingwe. How can you trust a human being?
By the way,
yes.
Kwani hao walikuwa namna gani?
People are different.
Wewe ni tofauti sana.
What?
Wewe unatrustiwa, wewe ana take advantage ya hiyo trust.
Nikisema hii mahakama unaniwekelea pesa zako. Mimi ndio nilikula sa nyumba. Kwani wao wanakuja kunilipa kwangu, mimi ndio landlord wa hiyo nyumba.
Hakuna pesa yangu umekula. Umekula pesa ya wapangaji.
The men and women in both, they are commanded to defend and protect the sovereignty and territorial integrity of the Republic of Kenya. Their bravery knows no limits.
Make a man go through the wall without breaking the wall. Laziness, it is not in our vocabulary.
But what are their stories, their tales? Military Tales, every Saturday at 9 p.m. with Ben Troy Njoe.
Sinaiga mfano wake.
Ruka basi.
Nipe mabao.
Nani?
Za kuniambia kutoka jana asubuhi mpaka saa hizi tumetumia shilingi 1,800.
Ukisikia ono na magumu wa kwanza ni wewe.
Hapana. Sasa 1,800 nitoe wapi? Mimi mwenyewe sijimudu. Ndio mwingine nituwekele mzigo.
Habari ya kunaambia ati sijui wapata mshahara, sijui walimu, sijui una kazi kubwa, uwe na kazi ndogo, sio shida yangu.
Angalia chini. Ngoja, sio unajifanya mjanja sana.
Nikibecha nini? Akikuletea shida saa nyingine kararue.
Utaumiza bure aka. Yarukia
wewe naye unaona kuna kizaazaa hapa oza mtoto.
Auza mtoto.
Kumbe ni wewe ndio mwenye kumshauri mambo ya harusi ya.
I never heard a music so sweet. I repeat.
Wagwan, me brethren, big things are going. Remember, each and every Monday we have to shell down the place with nothing but the best of smooth reggae vibes in your favorite station. You know these things, man.
super side, giving you Kenyan music from the 254.
And of course, you can spice up your Wednesday by doing blazing hot hip-hop and R&B jams.
We don't got no label. She say she want bottles.
Vibes and vibes as we go all across Africa, Kenya, Nigeria, Ghana, all the way to Tanzania to give you nothing but the best on Afro Thursday. Make sure you make a date with us each and every single Friday with me, DJ_Liza Diva,
DJ Cold,
and me, Wanjiko. This is Club One Extra.
Unanifanya nisikie kunyongwa. Hadija ai, mani especially ukisonga.
Let's start with that. Welcome back to Good Morning Kenya. This is Entertainment Thursday. The segment is Future Voices. Today we are focusing on matters that are touching on the country and the young generation, to be specific. Issues have been raised, matters to do with justice, matters to do with good governance. But the question is, who's listening? That is the biggest question. On one hand, the church has called on the government to listen to what the youth is raising, and on the other, the youth have been told to at least, quote unquote, leave their hard stance and at least see what is happening, the efforts that have been put. But then again, the issues raised. Who is listening? Marianne Jogu is an advocate of the High Court and joins me here on Entertainment Thursday to talk about these issues. Welcome to the program.
Thank you very much, Mike.
How are you doing?
I'm doing quite well.
Yes.
It's a good morning.
Yeah.
And I'm happy to be here.
Yes.
It's my first time.
Yes.
But yes, I'm looking forward to the conversation.
Yeah, off air you're telling me that you may have wanted to be a journalist or something.
Yes,
What
yes.
happened?
Yes. My dad at some point wanted me to be a journalist.
Yeah.
And you know, according to what I used to see on the news, I used to think, you know, you guys are alone and not a whole team. So I was like, I'll be so lonely. I'm an extrovert. I need to talk to human beings. And he said, of course you'll do the interviews.
Yeah.
And I was like, that is once in a while. I need human interaction around me all the time.
Yes.
I guess that's why I'm always up and down making arguments in court.
Yeah. It's a whole team actually that makes things happen. Besides what you see on TV, it's a whole team. Now, let's get into this. From your own perspective, what do you think is the state of issues within the country?
To be honest, from my own perspective as an individual, the state of the nation is not doing quite well. The direction we've taken is not quite good. And even as a legal individual, as a lawyer, I will still say that that's still the same, that the current affairs of the country are pretty much in breach of many laws across the nation and across the board. Yes.
What would you say is standing out as, where are we going wrong?
Well, one thing I will say is that the culture of governance in Kenya is quite intolerable for many people, and not just the youth. The youth might be vocal and at the forefront of speaking about issues, but the current culture of governance is not in conformity with the constitution and the type of democracy that Kenya is currently in. Yeah.
Now, when it comes to, you know, we've seen the youth becoming very vocal on social media, raising issues to do with justice. They've spoken about matters to do with police brutality. But from your perspective, do you think anyone is listening to what is being raised?
Looking at the conversations that are there, my honest perspective is that no one is really listening. There is an intonation of we are hearing, but I don't think they're really listening, because there is a divergence of views. And I'll give a good example. They'll say the youth have spoken, we've listened to the issues they're saying, and then the conversation changes. It probably changes to, no, this is tribalism. No, probably this is anarchy, the conversation is literally changed. If you're speaking about the issues we're saying, police brutality, what are the steps that have been taken so far to bring perpetrators or to bring the alleged suspects of police brutality to justice or to book? How many have been arrested? So the things that we are seeing is that there's a constant conversation and an alleged attempt or insinuation that they are listening, but we are not seeing any active progress, not in parliament, not in government, not among our leaders having this conversation. There is, in fact, from last year, because this protest basically began largely last year, there was the discussion from different politicians, including Raila Odinga. They talked about compensation. Is there a bill tabled in parliament about victims of police brutality compensation? None whatsoever. So what procedures are they going to use to compensate? How are they going to identify? So far there has been no compensation, neither is there a bill or a law being discussed towards that. Yeah.
So there should be some anchorage in law when it comes to matters to do, let's say, what you were raising, anything to do with victims of police brutality. Does that give that aspect the impetus it needs to be implemented?
Well, there is the procedures for the police in terms of how they handle force and how they protect and how they come in case of danger from, you know, the Constitution, the National Police Act, their standing orders. But in particular, a law that tells us how you identify these victims. Once someone has been accused and gone through the legal process and we found them guilty, and how do you identify these victims? To what extent do we compensate them? What is the value? What are the issues we're looking about? Is it treatment? Are they waived? The levels and forms of compensation have not been able to be discussed. And so therefore we'll be throwing words about we will compensate victims, but without a procedure being laid out, there is even no one, including legal personality, to be able to follow up, because I can only lodge or I can only speak onto a law which doesn't currently exist.
Yeah. Does it end at compensation from whatever you are raising? And where does that leave accountability?
It doesn't end at compensation, because in fact the first thing that we should be focusing, and which has been part of the things that are being raised by the youth and different actors, even in the justice, because we've seen the judges' comments as the cases are ongoing, the ones that are currently before the courts. There's the issue about prevention. These are not issues we should be seeing. I did not foresee instances where you'd watch a video of an actual live execution by an officer, by a police force who's meant to be protecting lives. So the first thing that we should be discussing, there's been increased cases of shoot to kill kind of orders, bodies being found with alleged bullet wounds. While these issues are being discussed, we should now be discussing police reforms. And I don't think that these issues have come up now. Police brutality has been there. It's just that right now you have a generation or more people bringing it to life through social media and their recordings. But the first back starts with the prevention. When there has been an order that the police should not cover up, they should have identifiable tags, they should be in their uniform and not civilian. And in the next protest, they are still disobeying these orders. Who then is held accountable? Because they receive orders from someone, and there's someone supervising the police while they're exercising their obligations. When you see them go back to the street in breach of a court order, who is responsible? So there is no prevention, neither is there accountability. So even the people who are overseeing the police force, they are doing nothing about ensuring that their police officers under their command are actually following court orders, their standing orders, and even their own act, including the vehicles that have been picking up people, the thin line between arrests and abductions. Some of them don't have number plates. That has no place in the law. It has no place among the orders, the policies that are there around the arrest. So there has to be prevention, there has to be police reforms, but above all, there has to be accountability. To be honest, even as individuals, if someone is going to breach a law and act excessively, abuse their power, and there's no consequence, why wouldn't the next person do it? When we start seeing people being brought to book and to justice, there is going to be restraint. But as it is, there has been a culture of, it's on the news, people are talking about it, there's a push, but no one is in jail. No one is being actively prosecuted. And in fact, even no one that is in charge has been fired or dismissed because of this continuous misconduct.
So who is missing the point here? Those who are raising issues and those who are supposed to respond. Who is missing the point? Those who are raising the issues, maybe in the manner in which they are raising these issues, and those who are supposed to respond in a manner that is expected by those who are raising issues. Who is missing the point?
I think the party missing the point is the one that is meant to be listening and implementing. Because the people, the citizens, the Kenyans, the youth, and the different groups raising their voices, I think they have been clear about the issues they're speaking about. If it's corruption, if it's accountability, if it's police brutality, Kenyans have gone further to even do investigations themselves. They've become like directors of investigations and CIDs like we see in movies. They'll even help you be able to get evidence, capture the individual that they are talking about, right? But is there an arrest? In this, there's the case that is ongoing on Albert Ojwang. In terms of investigations, how transparent have been the investigations? We've had particular persons being investigated and questioned in public, and the questioning being open to the public and you're able to follow up, while others is just a statement that they were questioned behind doors. How are we able to tell if these procedures of questioning were actually followed? So if you're talking about police brutality, we need to see that the people who've been particularly raised, they are suspects. They might be not guilty persons, but they are suspects. And just like any other Kenyan, they should be arrested. If the police are able to show up in anybody's house, a citizen's house in the middle of the night and pick them and go, we should also be able to see timely arrests of accused officers for police brutality. If you're speaking about issues matters governance, and there's an issue of embezzlement of funds or abuse of power or misuse of public funds, you need to see the people responsible and in charge, including the government officials, being able to redirect how they're using their budget. You cannot have that we are increasing budget for renovations, security, who we are currently saying are abusing majority part of their party, while reducing funding for items like education. Constantly, you've seen the EACC. Yes. You've also seen the control of budget raise concerns about missing funds, including e-citizen and different platforms. Right now, the discussions we had about transition to SHA, part of the arguments was that there was a lot of embezzlement of funds in the NHIF kind of system. So if that is the argument, then how come are you having a transition? Nobody has been fired. Nobody has stepped down. We've not seen anyone being investigated in the essayed embezzlement of funds while in NHIF. And clearly, even the transition is incorporating majority of the employees. So are you transferring people who are conducting the embezzlement to a new kind of system of healthcare? For you to claim that there has been embezzlement or there has been abuse and misuse of funds, we need to see on the news someone has been fired, someone is being investigated, and that clearly does not happen in the country. So there's a lot of speaking and no action being undertaken. Our government, our parliament has powers. But recently, in anything that the Kenyans are, talking about, parliamentarians are also screaming like a normal Kenyan. They'll go to parliament and they're debating and talking about, this person was picked, but they have power to pass motions, they have power to vote on certain issues, they even have power to summon.
So there is some sort of falling short in terms of oversight that the parliament is supposed
Yes, yes. There's a lot of speaking and there's no action. Nobody's being fired, nobody's being summoned, no particular law that is going to help the situation is being passed. Like I keep giving the example of, you said you want to compensate victims. There is no bill in parliament for that. But there is currently a member of parliament introducing a bill that we should not have protests near parliament. You know, the thing about protest is it's supposed to enable the citizens raise their petitions. So if you have an issue with government and their governance, part of the arms of and the buildings that you could go to give your petitions is Parliament. So why do we have a bill saying that you should not protest anywhere near Parliament? Is that the priority discussion at the moment?
So that is where the point is being lost.
Yes.
But then again, is there a chance where both the government and the people, especially the young generation, can parley, have a sit down and say, you know what, these are the issues, you are falling short of doing this, how can we find solutions? Is that possible?
While it is possible for the young people to get, of course, we have been avoiding the idea of having leaders representing us, and that might be a weakness and a strength at the same time. But there are many times that leaders have betrayed their masses and their following, which has weakened some of these causes and fights for justice and such kind of elements. And that's why probably the young people are avoiding a lot of leadership right now. Because even with university leadership, I have been a university leader, we've seen instances of alleged bribery. So they were once speaking, helping organize this protest, and 1 minute they've met with a certain person in government, and they're now quiet. And that's why young people are avoiding that level. But it is possible for them to come down to the table. But I'll be honest, even as a young person, they are saying most of these things we are raising, do they really need a sit down? To end corruption in Kenya, there is robust law, there is the institutions to enforce people who have been accused of embezzlement, abuse of power. Those systems are there. The judiciary is there. If it's the anti-corruption, it's there, right? So do we need to sit down to discuss corruption? Do we need to sit down to discuss your utterances like a leader? When you hear a leader speaks and says, if it were up to me, I would have killed some of them like it was last year, right? A leader spoke that. In another democratic country, these countries we go to borrow loans from and admire, that leader will not be in power. They will have resigned even before Parliament has said anything or the citizens have said anything. But our leaders have a culture to speak things that do not align with the Constitution, that actually perpetrate some of these injustices. When you say that police, your gun is not for, it's not like a flower, use it, shoot. When we are protesting against police brutality, isn't that encouraging abuse of police powers? So those things don't need a sit down. They know what they need to do as leaders. It is either you do it or you allow the citizens remove you from power, because this is delegated authority. Most of these things, if you're discussing police brutality, you're discussing corruption, abuse of power, embezzlement of funds, lack of priorities, like the way we've been seeing how they're handling healthcare and education, key sectors in this country, you do not need to sit down with a young person to fix it. Kenya has robust laws. The discussions are there because they can hear. There's social media, the reports are getting to them. You don't need to have a discussion and back and forth and wasting time. People need to start working instead of politicking.
You said we have robust laws, yes. But then again, the question of the goodwill to implement it. Is there a goodwill to implement it from your perspective?
From my perspective, some places, some institutions, some leaders have goodwill. But in the places and in the spaces that matter the most, we see a lack of goodwill. And it's so unfortunate that I grew up studying, and part of these arguments were lack of good faith, called it government good faith. And it's I'm now a youth working and enforcing the law, and it's still part of the issues that we are speaking of. Lack of political goodwill. There is no political goodwill. For example, when an MP, we lost a member of parliament, right, recently. You saw members of parliament, people of government speaking about it passionately and daily. How many members of parliament, how many people in government are you seeing speaking passionately about the current tax? When we are every day still following up and speaking about even Albert Ojwang, who's now being laid to rest, doesn't he have an MCA? Doesn't he have an MP? Doesn't he have a governor? How many of them have come to the forefront to help bring this issue to an end, ensure that there's justice to the family. And the thing where we are departing with the young people, this culture of something has happened and you'll put money on it and you'll think it will go away, that culture is dying with generations to come. You might compensate the family, but if the people, the perpetrators of that crime are not arrested, the youth will not keep quiet. And that is why they are still talking about the Albert Ojwang's issue. It matters not that money was given. So in my opinion, the people in power are not doing enough based on the powers we've given them and the authority that they have and what the law allows them to do.
Do you think the current crop of leadership that we have inspires hope in Kenya?
Are there leaders who inspire hope in Kenya? Yes. And in my opinion, the thing that I have realized is this. Most leaders in government who are working are not noisy, are not in a lot of politics and propaganda. When you look at the ranking of governors, whether we debate if the institution doing the ranking is accurate or not, the ones that are considered to be top performers, you'll not see them in the everyday news hurling insults at fellow leaders or in propaganda. They are busy working. So we do have leaders that inspire hope in us. But at the same time, we do have leaders that make us feel like there's no future in this country. When you go to protest police brutality and you are met with now more excessive force from the police in the middle of a protest about police brutality, and now even the tactics have been increased. The discussion that there could be leaders who came up together to fund goons to infiltrate the protest. And the last protest even having instances of rape. And there have been an alleged discussion that there are leaders that were involved in those kind of acts, because there was an investigation that was done and it was in one of the news media houses and even in the newspapers. Would that inspire hope in anyone? No, it wouldn't. That we are seeing these leaders, they are just after amassing wealth, consuming power and protecting it at all costs. That is what this generation is. We cannot tolerate that type of governance.
Do you think now, pegging on whatever that has happened, that the young generation will take up votes and come out to vote?
That is the discussion we've also been having among ourselves and encouraging everyone to ensure that they have registered to vote.
Before you continue on that point, let's take a short break. That's a very pertinent issue to talk about, but let's take a short break. We'll be right back. This is Good Morning Kenya.
Hello, fabulous ladies. Welcome to the talk show that's all about sisterhood, empowerment, and unfiltered conversation. We will be focusing on women. We believe in women.
We are really changing.
We are creating a safe space for women to connect, thrive, and share.
Just because you're a woman on a bike, you're labeled in a certain way.
It's not just a talk show, it's a movement.
When they are standing, we need to stand out.
From heartwarming tales to hilarious adventures.
They could ask me, Catherine, why are you learning?
We are turning the spotlight on women who are breaking barriers in their individual fields.
You have to have a vision. You are the leaders of Kenya today.
Keeping it honest and relatable.
Mental health is real.
Yes.
Where there is no communication, there is no relationship.
Join the sisterhood on KBC TV for Dada's show.
They say the earth without art would just be get it? We circumnavigate the globe and traverse the local scene to bring you art and culture at their very best. From fine art, culinary art, performing arts, and even cultural events, you name it, and we have got you covered. My name is Kevin Kasioki, and I will be serving you this and much, much more each and every Friday at 8 p.m. only on KBC Channel 1.
How comes round hii mnakubali kupatia mtu pesa, stranger from nowhere?
You're not a stranger, wewe ni caretaker wetu.
Very good. Na caretaker yuko na right ya kuitisha pesa ya nyumba? Atengwe. How can you trust a human being?
By the way,
yes.
Kwani hao walikuwa namna gani?
People are different.
Wewe ni tofauti sana.
What?
Wewe unatrustiwa, wewe ana take advantage ya hiyo trust.
Nikisema hii mahakama unaniwekelea pesa zako, mimi ndio nilikula sa nyumba, kwani wao wanakuja kunilipa kwangu, mimi ndio landlord wa hiyo nyumba.
Hakuna pesa yangu umekula. Umekula pesa ya wapangaji.
You're still watching Good Morning Kenya. This is Entertainment Thursday, and the conversation we are having is actually a question based on the matters that the youth have raised to do with leadership, governance, and justice. Who is listening? And before we went on a break, we were talking about how the youth are going to go about this. If you may continue on that point.
Yes, so I think you had asked me about are the youth going to take up the voting, or are they just going to continue doing digital activism?
Yes.
And in my opinion, I do know that previously, I have voted the previous elections. From my observation, we had a very few youths, the percentage was quite small, that actually go to vote. But I can confidently say that I have hope that actually a majority of the youth this time will not only take voting cards, but will be there at the polling station very early in the morning. And the reason that I say that is there's quite a shift. Because these same youths never used to be invested in political affairs, governance in the country. But many people used to say whatever is happening in politics has nothing to do with me. Majority of them never used to watch news or buy newspapers. The trend that is there right now, the youth are actually reading newspapers. We've become like our fathers, what we used to see in the evening. The youth are buying newspapers, checking which one is capturing the information as it is. They are watching the news. Right now, the discussions that we used to have about the movies and the show, they have minimized. If you follow on social media, the discussions that are there is what is happening in the country. The youth have become more engaged, even in conversations, even on national television. So with this type of change, we are having discussions, and many youth are saying, yes, this time round, we will be there for our voice to be counted. So I am confident and I am hopeful. And even as I am here, I am even speaking to those youths that are listening to please make sure that they take votes, because for you to vote, it's your constitutional right. It's your best way to actually decide your governance. Your governance is not decided at this chaotic level or when things are bad. It starts at the ballot. And everyone, youth and any other generation alike, needs to make sure that their voice matters and is heard at the ballot. That is where it matters the most.
Do you think, even with the issues raised, matters to do with corruption and everything, that there's a way that the youth want it to happen instantly, but then there's the aspect of investigation and time? Is that a dangerous path?
Well, to be honest, I do think it's a dangerous path. I have had the chance as a young person, also as a legal practitioner, as a person who's also vocal on these particular issues, to analyze both our weaknesses and strengths.
Yes.
And there is no party that doesn't have weaknesses and strengths. Even the government itself has strengths. They have the things they're doing right, and they have the things they're doing wrong. And I could say part of the weaknesses that we have as a youth movement, as the people who are on the protest, yes, there is a culture to desire things to be done right now, which is not quite practical. A good example was during the last year when we had the CSs fired and a sort of kind of reshuffle of the CSs. Of course, what we wanted is that a majority of them to go home. And we wanted to see technocrats being appointed. But sometimes the government needs to move. Business has to continue. Running of the country has to continue. And of course, we did give our own views of people who should be appointed. And whether they took that into account or not, the idea that they should have been fired now and a whole new team to be appointed might not be practicable. So I know there are things we're agitating for. When you talk about corruption, we want to see it end today, if not tomorrow. It has to be today. If we want to see changes in the police force, we want to see the majority of the people we are discussing going through the legal process, which in itself, as a lawyer, takes time to investigate, to prosecute, hearing until a judgment is delivered. And they might not be that patient, or while it is happening, it might look like nothing is happening. But of course, the youth, the thing that I will tell about the different generations is the youth have their own strength. Social media is their strength. Their perspectives on governance. If you listen to how they think governance should be, it's a beautiful perspective. But they also need to be mentored on matters, time, patience, forums of discussions to be at, how you can actually be part of actual change, not just protest. Protest is part of it, and constitutionally protected, but there are other spaces we need to be in, including the table of discussion. So when we are asked to present leaders, when a discussion is happening, we did not. And while I understand where we are coming from, there are parties that took advantage of the young people not being on the table. So you have to be on the streets doing your political and constitutional right, but you also need to be in the table of discussion where decisions are being made. So the youth need to learn patience. We also need to work on our cancel culture. I'll give you a very good example. There was a backlash during the 25th protests. Of course, there was a comment later on from Omtata. And he was not for the idea of any protest that might lead towards State House. And there was a group that was like, what is going on? This is the person we were hoping for. And there's a group that is saying, but what were you expecting? His life has been devoted to the Constitution. So you definitely do not expect that such a person would try to act, in certain instances against the Constitution, in other instances towards whatever the Constitution advocates for. So that type of one perspective can lead to a serious backlash overnight with the young people is actually a dangerous trend. Within ourselves, even with our leaders, we need to be patient. The government, the youth, the individuals, Kenyans themselves, the police are not perfect. So the cancel culture has to come out, and the need for now. And I think that impatience is not just in politics. It might also be in our individual lives as youth, in our careers and all that. But it's a matter of mentorship and being able to guide them. But I can tell you for sure, the way the youth envision this country and the energy they're fighting with for this country is out of love and not distraction or hopelessness. They want to see the country work. And all we need to do is to guide the youth on how best they can advocate for that.
So who is going to guide the youth, as you're saying? There's mentorship, then there's that guidance. What or whose role is that? Where does that fall? Who is going to carry out that?
Well, unfortunately, like we were having the discussions, are you being listened to? Are there leaders that that are giving you hope? With young people, we might have knowledge right now and perspectives, but there's also knowledge that comes with years, practice, being in certain spaces, knowing how certain things work. The people who've amassed that level of knowledge, who might be senior to us, the other different generations that might not account to youth, are the best people to tell us and to advise us on how to channel our energy and our ideas in a way that can actually work. Because some of them have already gone before us. Some of these people, even in politics, they had their own Gen Z of their time. They were not Gen Zs, but when they were at our age group, they're the ones who were fighting for the very, very same things. So they should be at the forefront of saying, we've tried this, this works, this hasn't worked, this might work, but maybe we should try it this way. But those people, if it's politicians, if it's leaders, if it's the church, one, they're either not listening or not actively trying to understand, where is this young person coming from? Where is this generation coming from? Where is this descent stemming from? It's a matter of you speak, we give negative feedback or backlash. There's a lot of judging the generation and the youth and changing their ideologies and what they're fighting for to something that is not, instead of actually listening to understand and to see, if I also want better governance and I've been in the position of experience or to understand how things work, how can I guide you? Because even a young person getting into politics, it's not easy to get into politics when you're young without guidance. I'm not saying that you cannot do it. We can do it. We can take over these positions. We can actually run successful campaigns. The young people are able to do anything. And you know, this discussion of you are for the future is now what is now. And that's why you're seeing a lot of agitation and a lot of push. The people used to be told you are the future. And I think people are still saying you're the future. No, they're not the future. They are now coming into the present. But there needs to be guidance, holding hand. Where does your right start and where does your right end? Where does your obligation start and where does your obligation end?
There's also the question of, are the youth, when it comes to guidance and mentorship, are they really willing to listen?
The youth are willing to listen. The attitude that is there among the youth, I being one of them, is that I think you have seen, while the youth have been vocal on these vices, and even people who are alleged to have committed atrocities, they are also vocal about the people who are doing things the right way. While we are speaking about police brutality, there have been youths who have been looking for certain police officers who are salimia with M-Pesa, the current trend that we've been having, because they protected them in instances where fellow police officers had been using excessive force. This is a generation that knows when to thank you and when to criticize you. They are able to listen. But for them to be able to listen, they must also have the confidence and trust that you have understood where they're coming from and you share in their vision. You know, you cannot come and say, you want to advise me while calling me an anarchist. I will definitely not listen to you. We are already seeing things from a different perspective. You cannot purport to give advice or to give guidance, even with authority, and change this conversation of corruption, police brutality, abuse of power, and make it tribalism, and make it an issue of regions, and still expect that we will listen to you. When you actually give sound advice to the young people, they will listen. There have been video clips that you might have seen, even during the protests. There are some OCS, I experienced one last year in town, they were trying to calm us down and speak to us. And he said, you have a right to protest, but they have certain hours. And now it's past 6 p.m. You're not allowed to protest past this time. Please go home so that you're able to be safe. In fact, the youth thanked him, gifted him this milk and other things, and we all left and went back home. So this generation has a capability of listening. The youth can listen, but you have to speak sense, and you also have to be a person of character. The youth do not want to listen to someone who's speaking of things they do not do. Preaching water and doing wine. You're speaking against police brutality, but when it happened when you were in power, you are clapping at it or speaking in a way that seems to justify it. They will not listen to you when you seem to change your stand. And I think that brings into accountability and ensuring our leaders meet Chapter 6 of the Constitution.
Let's end it at that. Let's end it at that. This is a robust conversation. It was a robust conversation, and I'm grateful that you made time to come and talk at least about the current state of affairs and matters that touch on the youth. That is Wakili Mary Ann Njogu, who is an advocate of the High Court, who has joined us here on Good Morning Kenya to talk about the voices of the future, or the future voices. This is where we end this conversation. Don't go too far. Vivian Ndegwa is coming right up next with Entertainment Thursday. My name is Mike Migwe. Keep it KBC Channel 1.
huyo alikushow? Hii injili kuna vile inabo. Buda boss nani huyo alikushow? Hii injili kuna vile na masharti zi. We, hapana sikiza ya usisake uhai. Kwa wale wafu manake kila kitu hauwe ukiwauliza. Watakueleza kwamba haiwezekani. Ile kwa yawe mambo yote nazekana kama kifo likishinda. Ni kipi kitamshinda? Buda, usitake kwa shabiki karibu ndani yake mengi ya juu. Anasema ukimfuata mambo mengi atakuonyesha. Ile ambayo bado wewe hujaiona. Anasema ukimfuata mambo mengi utasikia we. Ile ambayo bado wewe hujasikia. Cheki vile najienjoy, sina stress, niko fiti, niko fresh nani. Kila kitu ananishughulikia. That's why sina noma mia. Cheki vile najienjoy, sina stress, niko fiti, niko fresh nani. Kila kitu ananishughulikia. That's why sina noma mia. Najienjoy, enjoy, najienjoy. Najienjoy, enjoy, najienjoy. Najienjoy, enjoy, najienjoy. Najienjoy, enjoy, najienjoy.
All right, and we get to officially start off Entertainment Thursday right here on Good Morning Kenya, and we begin with the artist who you're just from watching his song. The song is Naji Enjoy. His name is Eriko. Eriko Mambo. How are you feeling this morning?
I'm good.
Uko poa kabisa?
Kabisa.
All right, kwa wale ambao wanakuona for the very first time, kamera yako ni ile, waambie wewe ni Eriko and what exactly do you do?
Okay, my name is Eriko K. the Son. I'm a gospel artist, songwriter, recording artist, na pia performing artist.
All right, when exactly did you get into music?
Officially nilianza 2 years back.
2 years back.
Lakini recording nilikuwa nimeanza kitambo 2011 huko.
So ulianza kurecord like many years ago, since 2011, but officially now you got into it 2 years ago. Mbona ilikutake that long to now decide I'm officially doing this? What was happening?
Ni maisha. Zile time nilikuwa napiga ma audio, sikuwa napiga video. So ilikuwa ngumu kidogo kumarket, yani kujulikana vipoa. So mali nilianza kupigia video ilikuwa 2 years back. Hapo sasa ndipo nilianza kuingia kwa game vizuri kwa market.
Na unaweza sema so far imekuaje?
Haijakuwa rahisi. Ni kupambana, lakini Mungu amekuwa best yani. Amenisaidia, ameniwezesha niko hapa.
Wacha tuongelele the song that we just came in with, that is Naji Enjoy. Tell me more about Naji Enjoy. How did it come to be, from writing of the lyrics to the song, you know, video being out?
Okay, Naji Enjoy ni song moja yani naelezea, naonyeshana venye yani ukiokoka kwa Mungu venye kuna enjoyment kibao unacheki. So ukiangalia kuna ngoma zangu venye naandikanga inakuwa ni kama testimony. So before niandike Naji Enjoy kulikuwa na other songs. So hapa nimekuja kuandika Naji Enjoy ni after sana nimekaa kwa wokovu, nimeanza kuona vitu za God, yani mambo yangu inaanza kurun smoothly. So nikaamua acha niandike hii ngoma ya Naji Enjoy, at least nionyeshe wase ukiokoka si tunaboeka, ukiokoka pia unabambi.
Bado kwa God kuna kujibamba.
Kuna my enjoyment.
Unique.
Kuna any collab maybe tuna expect, because sijakuona ukifanya collab au flat.
Ziko zinakam.
Unaweza tumentionia maybe.
Acha ikuwe siri. Acha ikuwe surprise.
Zikuwe surprise. Sawa sawa. So collab, lakini hujakuwa ukifanya collaborations as much?
Nimepiga ni venye hazijatoka bado.
Bado ni kurelease, hujarelease. So far mtu akiangalia your YouTube channel, there are no collaborations, so it's in the works, bado unazifanyia kazi.
All
right. Okay. So ukianza kuimba ulikuwa umeanza na secular music?
Niko nimeanza na secular.
Nini ilifanya uchange, ama what brought about that change from secular music to now gospel?
Unaona hiyo time nilikuwa napiga secular, ile kitu nilikuwa najiforce. Yani unafanya kitu ja venye iko saa hizo. Lakini moyo wako una feel si uko supposed kuwa hapa. So ilifika mahali nikaona hii stuff hata nikifanya kuna venye najiforce. So nikaamua kuachana nayo. So venye niliingilia gospel nikaanza kupata mambo yangu yani inasonga without pressure. So nikajua hapa ndipo nafaa kuwa. Kule nilikuwa na
kwa kwingine nika ulikuwa na force issues.
Nilikuwa na force issues.
Alright, so sasa wewe kama you know Eric, the gospel artist that you are, unaweza sema nini na kufurahisha kufanya what you do? Like what gives you satisfaction with doing what you do?
Kitu moja naweza sema unacheki ukikaa kwa Mungu matunda yake, yani kwa Mungu hakunanga machozi. Ukikaa huku nikifanya gospel yangu na feelingi vipoa, once natokea napata wasee wanaipokea vizuri, wana relate nayo vipoa. Hiyo kitu ndo inanibambanga na inanipea motisha ya kusonga.
So hiyo ndo inakupatia that motivation ya wewe kusema I'll keep doing this hata kama umesema it's a bit challenging pia. Na hizi challenges ni gani?
Kitu moja inakuanga do.
Hiyo ndo like the main one. Hiyo kitolewa uko sawa.
Manzi. Unacheki alafu unapata hata network. Do plus network. Manzi hiyo ndio inakuanga issue. Cause unaweza kuwa umefanya ngoma poa lakini hauna network. So unapata haifiki wasee. Lakini once uko na do na uko na network, vitu zinaweza kuwa ziko poa.
Uko able ku market ngoma yako ifike places kwenye unataka zifike. Alright, but now at least kuna social media pia. Una feel kama social media imesaidia kupush your music as you finish?
Sana. Imesaidia cause kuna wasee uwezi fikia one on one, lakini through social media unapata inawafikia. So na appreciate pia hizi ma social media zinasaidia sana.
Alright. Sawa, tumalize na your new song. You have a new song, it's like 9 days old. Inaitwa Iko Best. Tuambie kuhusu Iko Best and then you look at the camera, tell people where to find Iko Best and your other songs and your names on social media as well. So what was the inspiration behind Iko Best?
Iko Best manzi, unajua kwa Mungu vitu zote zinakuanga best yani. So niliona manzi nimekuwa kwa God, vitu zimekuwa fiti. Mambo yangu inakuwa freshi, so nikaona acha niandike hii ngoma na niambie wasee kwa Mungu mambo iko best. Hakuna haja ushindange na huko ukisemanga vitu haziendi kama kwa Yesu.
That is the whole idea behind the song.
Manzi.
Aya, waambie wanaipata wapi? That's your camera.
Ukitaka kupata ngoma zangu unaingia pale YouTube, una search Eriko K the Sun, una watch manze, una subscribe, una comment, una like na pia manze unanisaidia kushare. Kwa streaming platform unanipata kama Eriko K the Sun. Social media nifuate kama Eriko K the Sun.
All right. Sawa Eriko, thank you so much for coming through to the show.
Thank you.
DJ, situcheze Iko Best.
Mambo iko best.
All right.
Broadcasting House, Nairobi, Kenya. This is KBC English Service.
Welcome to Beat Time Show, the very best of the 80s and 90s with me, John Korani, JK.
Timeless music hits across the decades.
This is the place to be after you've had a tough day. Here we celebrate love and life.
Don't believe me, just watch.
The sound of KBC English Service.
I'm your host, Caroline Wangishi. Karo Gatata Moshero.
My name is Geoffrey Mongai. News, information and entertainment. KBC English Service, Kenya's official national radio.
So with us is a man of God, but before all this, you know, he was behind bars for 12 years.
The age of 13, mimi nilikuwa responsible kulisha familia yangu. Nikajipata, of course, wase wako na ma guns nini, so nikaanza tu kuwafuata. Makara wako side moja, sisi tuko side moja, exchange inafanyika. So unajua nikitoka hapa, either mtu anaweza nigonga, either mtu wako ama karao. So walipoona karao alichukua kaitupa. Tukiwa tunapita hivi na makarao tukienda, dogi ndio inakuja na money belt. Alafu inakuja inaonyesha nani ametupa.
There is a God who restores, you know. 12 years now serving the Lord with this powerful testimony.
I'm gonna sing the gospel of Jah. I'm gonna preach the gospel of Jah. I'm gonna sing the gospel of Jah. I'm gonna preach the gospel of Jah. In the city of beautiful Nairobi, I will preach. I'm going down to Embu, I'm gonna preach there. I'm not ashamed the gospel of Jah.
I'm gonna preach
Blessed
the gospel
Kenya,
of
this
Jah.
is Shashamali, live and direct.
Absolutely. Yes, we have him right here with us in studio. His name is the one and only Shasha Mali, and he's given us timeless music for sure. We were just speaking before we went on air about the song that he's just touched on. Like, that song is 18 years old.
2007 release.
It was released in the year 2007.
And it's just like yesterday.
It just trended the other day in Kenya, and one would actually think that it's maybe a new song or something, you know? So it's been here for the last 18 years.
18 years. You know, and on the album, every song on the album is hitting in different countries. You know, timeless.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So Gospel of Jah, Kenya is taking it.
Yeah.
You know, there's a song, Mata Family, is for Ghana, my country, you know? And all the other songs, you know, like the song you just played is for Brazil.
Wow.
You know, so and the video was shot in Brazil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How does it feel to just know that, you know, you have this kinds of body of works whereby it touches different people in a different way, and as you say, it's being played all over the world, every country picking the song that they feel most. Just how does that make you feel as an artist?
This is my mission on earth. You know, I believe that my mission on earth is when I see people happy because of me, then my mission is fulfilled. I'm not here for fame, money, or whatever. I'm here to make people happy.
Yeah.
So when I see people happy because of me, my mission is fulfilled.
Your mission is fulfilled, and I'm sure you have fulfilled it for sure. You're living in your purpose, as I like to say. Do you ever get confused for a Jamaican?
Oh yeah, everywhere, you know, because, you know, in my teens, I was named Shasha Mali. You know, when I was in high school, I was singing for my high school band. And at that time, Jamaican music was very popular in Ghana, you know. So when I was singing the reggaes, all the Bob Marley songs, I was singing with my high school band, you know. And my friend from Zimbabwe, at the time, called me Shasha, meaning the champion, the great man, you know. And then it became Shasha everywhere. The other guys added a Mali to it because of the reggae I was doing.
Yeah.
So I became very famous in Ghana, in the Western and Central regional schools, you know. And Shasha Mali became a very catchy name. And everybody knew me. Even my father was calling me Shasha Mali, you know. So anywhere I go, they take me to be Jamaican, you know, And I play good reggae, you know. So when they hear my song, they believe it's coming from Jamaica,
Yeah. So your music influences mainly are from Jamaica. That's why you do the kind of music that you do. I would love for you to take us back to your very earliest memories of music. You know, you've mentioned you were doing music in high school, but before then, can you remember when you first interacted with music?
The region I come from in Ghana is the western region of Ghana. You know, and at that time, Ghana had a shipping line called the Black Star Line ship. And many of the sailors in the shipping line come from our region. You know, so they bring reggae LPs anytime they came from Europe. And I go to their rooms to clean their shoes and, you know, dust their rooms and all that. And I listen to reggae all the time. But I believe that the beat, the reggae beat, God is giving me that beat to pass his message on it to the people. You know what I mean? Yeah, so the beat has been given to me to pass the message to the people, because a lot of people love reggae, and reggae is black music.
It is.
Yes.
It is, and it's recognized worldwide.
Worldwide.
You know,
Has
in
no
every
boundaries,
single country, there has to be artists who are doing reggae music. So it's not like it's Jamaican. It's a genre that is very
absolutely
worldwide, let me say that. Now, what does it take to make timeless music? I don't know if there's a secret to it, just let us in on that.
I don't know. You know, I mean, my music becomes timeless. I don't really intentionally say to myself that I want to make a timeless music. The music that comes to my faculty, my mental faculty, and that comes out of my mouth becomes timeless. You know, so it's a talent.
Yeah.
It's a talent. I think God is giving me that, you know. And Gospel of Jah, the message on it is touch a lot of lives. A lot of lives. Look, I get a lot of messages out of this country. Kenya hating me, I'm not ashamed of the gospel. And I get so surprised. Look, when this song was a hit in Kenya, I didn't know. 2012, somebody sent me an email, DJ Climax. And he said, hey man, your music is a big hit in Kenya. I said, what music? Gospel of Jah. I said, what? How come? I never knew. Way until, because at the time I did the music, there was no social media. You know, so we did it the hard way. Struggle, CDs, cassettes, you know. And then when it became a hit, I had no idea until had information that it's a hit, then I started following what's happening in Kenya, blah, 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 you know. So that's how it is, you know, timeless.
It's timeless. And then you mentioned that you got that mail back in 2012, but then again, it trended again. About 8 months ago, like late last year, I don't know if you've been able to see the challenges the challenge on TikTok that people are doing of this. So we have to do that dance. We are definitely going to do it. We are definitely going to do that dance for sure. So I'm sure it just has to be really, really amazing. When you're writing the song, can you tell from the word go that, okay, this is gonna be something?
No. I wrote the song in 1992, and I recorded it in 2007. I had no idea there was going to be a hit. You know, one time, you know, I love to read the Bible, you know. I was reading, I came across Romans chapter 1, verse 16. I'm not ashamed of the gospel because it is the word of God that brings salvation to everyone who believes. First to the Jews and then to the Gentiles. First to the Jews and then to the Gentiles. These people include the Sadducees and Pharisees, the scribes and teachers, you know. Then I started writing the songs together, putting the song together. I'm not ashamed of the gospel of Jah. In fact, the Bible didn't say gospel of Jah. You know, it said, I'm not ashamed of the gospel. But it's a gospel of Jah. Jah is God, you know. So it came to me like that. I started writing, blah, blah, blah. I didn't say to myself, I'm writing this song for Kenya. You know, I wrote the song and added to the album Lost and Found. You know, the song that I intended to be a hit on the album, it didn't rather become the hit. You know what I mean? So that's how it is. It's an album. So any song could be a hit anywhere.
Let's talk about Twin City Mafia, because that is also a song that is very popular with the people. Talk to me about that particular song, you know, the writing of it and how it came to be.
Twin City Mafia, you know, is a song that's very close to my heart, you know, because it talks about my growing up days in the Twin City. In Ghana, where I come from, is Sekendi, Takoradi. Two cities joined together. So we call them the twins.
That's why the name Twin
They are twins,
City.
Twin City, you know. And my growing up days, the struggle, the hustle, you know, fittest of the fittest, how to survive, you know, and through that, you know, zigzag ways, we became somebody, you know. So it makes me remember my childhood as a man. We went through the mafia way, man. How to find food to eat, you know, how to live, you know. So, I mean, the mafia there is metaphorical. It doesn't mean the mafia, the Italian mafia, you know. It means the struggle that we went through, to survive. In that Twin City, Sekendi, Takoradi, yes.
So it was basically almost a story.
It's a story of my childhood days.
Yeah.
I was selling coconuts at the roadside. Look, my father was as an educationist, but I grew up in an area that I found myself involved in the slum. You know, the slum lifestyle, you know, infected me. So even though my father was, you know, middle class, I didn't go that way. I went to the side of struggling. You know what I'm saying? So that's how it became. But I think it's something that God used me to go through so I can maintain, you know, I can maintain fame. I can maintain popularity.
Which particular song would you say gave you recognition worldwide? You know, from when you first started, you know, which song got you hitting rather worldwide or outside Ghana? Can you remember?
On the album, Lost and Found.
Lost and Found.
Gospel of Jah. It's a song, The Matter Family. Matter Family. I won the Best African Reggae Artist on the Cora Awards. You know, it gave me big recognition. You know, the quality of that song, and matter of fact, the quality of that album. You know, countries loved it. You know, so I think Matter Family. And Kenya, Twin City Mafia is also played. Everyone following, you know, and you know, Queen of Queens, Brazil. I was in Brazil 2013. I did a tour 1 month in Brazil, 25 shows. It was massive. So they shot this video for me in the Amazon. Yeah, for free. You know, the guy said, look, let's give you a free video. You know.
This particular one?
No.
Okay.
The one you played at the beginning
before,
of the show.
Okay.
Yeah, Queen of Queens, yeah.
So it's just been... It's been gradual for you.
Gradual. And it's better to be gradual. You know, everything big starts little. You cannot start... Anything that starts big cause for concern. You know what I'm saying? If you are going to be a great person, you must start little.
Yeah.
Little.
Yeah.
If you start from the beginning, you know what I'm saying?
Because even when you're from the bottom, don't up there.
Anybody does and starts big at the beginning. The future is big, step by step. The way human beings grow. We'll start adults. Yeah, that's how life is.
All right. You've mentioned Mata family quite a number of times. Yeah. What was the inspiration behind it?
Mata family, I did that song. Yeah. Mama myself. And, you know, I got into documents. You know, so I couldn't. This family, Mata fish. You know? And so when I was doing the song, I mentioned their name. I didn't know where they were. So they're playing in Mata. Please try and get in touch with I. You can yahoo.com I on Shashamali at word, which I don't want to mention on TV here.
Yeah.
You know,
it was a bit controversial.
Biggest.
Yeah.
And so it was #1 song. When the song came, everybody, it was a big up till now.
Yeah. Now, since you're back in the days, you know, it's been a number of years since you got into the say the scene has changed over time. You know, right now we have social media, so maybe music out there. Just take us through the changes that you've been able to witness.
Musicians do because they started was far away from Ghana, a global village. You know, if I would only see them on the Olympics, and when Michael died, then I saw Kenya. You know, but now, as soon as you put the music, Brazil, Asia, wherever, you know, so musicians are so lucky. But I think because of that, they're not taking time to do good music. You know what I mean? Because there are computers these days, anyway, programming, and you have a song.
Yeah.
Those times we have to get a whole band, a guitarist, trumpeter, keyboardist, drummer. They all have to come together to make music. And those music are timeless. You know, like this song, I'm Not Ashamed of the Gospel, 18 years ago.
Yeah.
You know, I got all the musicians, the Bob Marley's guitarist, Junior Marvin, played on it. The producer used to play with Wailers, he's playing with the Burning Spear, all of them, you know. And so, musicians are so lucky, you know, the business is evolved. And it's so lucky to do, it's so cheap to do music these days, you know. Yeah, so, but you have to do good music. Music that when you hear the lyrics, it can turn your life around for better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So musicians now are having it easier.
They're having so
compared
easy.
to. Yeah. Do you feel like they've become, okay, this may be a controversial one, but do you feel like maybe they've become lazier?
Yes, they become lazier because it's computer.
Yeah.
It's computer. Yeah. Look, the computer can sing for you. Now AI. People go pa, 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 and AI is singing for you. It's not your voice. It's AI singing. You know, but me, for so long, I've not drunk cold water. Yes.
You've not drunk
over
cold
40
water
years.
at all?
No, because I want to maintain my voice.
Wow.
You know?
Yeah.
Yes. Because I want to maintain, if I drink cold water, it chokes my voice. You know? So for so long, I don't drink cold water. Anything cold, I don't drink it.
The past 40 years?
Yes, over. You know, when I realized that cold water, you know, is bad for my voice, you know? But now, people drink everything because you go to the studio, AI is going to sing it. You know?
Auto-tune it.
Yeah, so you become lazy.
Yeah.
You don't even write lyrics. You know? When I write a song, we are authors. Like Shakespeare, like Sonia Oninka, all of them. They are authors. They write books. When you read a book, you can see your life in it, that the book is talking to you. Now the songs that we write, when you listen to it, you feel that the song is talking to you. For Jah so loved this world now, he gave his only begotten Son. Whosoever will believeth in him should not perish but live longer. It is only the church you're going to hear this. But in the disco, in the club, I'm giving you this message there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you don't have to go to church to hear this message. You can go to the club to hear the message too.
To hear it.
You know, that's how we write the songs.
Yeah.
You know, to hit you anywhere you go.
Yeah. There's a producer I once had on the show, and I asked him the question on what makes good music, you know, and he simply put it as long as you're speaking from experience, something that you feel will relate to the next person, then that will definitely make good music. Do you relate?
Oh, yeah, I think so, yes. Because it's an experience, you know. In this world, you know, we live by experience. What you experience is what you talk about. Like Twin City Mafia is my childhood days, growing up experience, you know. And that song, when I released in 2007, straight away it was a hit in Australia. Because Australia, in the New South Wales, they also have a Twin City there. So the song was a massive hit.
Wow.
You know, when I got to Australia in 2007, I saw that this song is accepted, you know. And it makes me feel like, oh, my childhood days makes me to like a mafia. What you gonna do? Come back, you go there in a rubber dove style, yeah. You know, it makes me feel like shedding tears when I'm singing it. Taking me back what I've been through to become somebody now, you know. I mean, I'm a role model. People look at my life, you know, and they sort of, you know, do it.
Yeah.
You know, so, yeah. So that's it.
Okay. There's something you had mentioned earlier about just working on yourself, you know, with giving us the reference of you don't take cold things at all. So just maybe to an artist who's watching us right now, who's a budding artist, just got into the scene and all that, what's the importance of just that investment in yourself as an artist?
You see, we've got an individual body system. I've been with a lot of artists. I've seen artists who drinks cold beer before they go on stage, and their voice is clean. You know what I mean? I've seen an artist, when the voice is blocked, is choked, he can get a shot of brandy and drinks, and the voice is open. You know? So we are individual. But for me, my body system, I don't go in like that. So it's good for you to notice yourself. Man, know thyself. You know what I mean? So you should know that, no, this is not good for me. This is good for me. You know, so steady yourself. Steady. You don't say, Shashamali is not drinking cold water, so I'm not going to drink cold water. Steady yourself. Steady yourself and see what's good for you, what's not good.
And do what works for you.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, you've gotten to perform in several stages across the world. You've got that privilege of doing that. Just maybe which particular performance would you say was really the performance for you?
I still go for Brazil and Australia. Yes, Brazil and Australia. I mean, it's a big memory in my mind, you know. I mean, the way Brazil accepted me, you know, when I was there in 2013, man, I was so amazed, you know, and Australia too. Australia 2007, I had a great tour in Australia. Yeah, these two countries, you know,
What makes these two stand out from every other performance that you've
because of the people and their love. So much love. You know, it's a faraway country from where I come from, in West Africa. You know, all the way across the Atlantic, you know, to Brazil, across the Indian Ocean, to Australia, and my music is felt there. So I say to myself, well, coming from this small country, I look on the world map, and I see where Ghana is. I said, well, so I've traveled all the way South Atlantic to Brazil, you know, and my music has impact. I've crossed over Africa, Indian Ocean to Australia. My music has an impact. So I said to myself, oh, man, I mean, even if God calls me back home today, I've made an impact. You know?
Now, I want to still remain on the stage performances. Sometimes people get jitters before they go on stage, and the people who say like it never leaves. You know, every time before you go to stage, sometimes you may feel a bit anxious and all of that. So, do you ever get nervous to date while going on stage? And is there a particular thing, let me call it ritual, that you're used to doing before going on stage?
For me, I'm natural. when I see the audience there, something takes over me. You know what I mean? I have no other influence. No influence. Mine is natural. When I see the audience, the energy comes.
You never get the nervousness, being anxious before a show.
I want to see the crowd.
Yeah.
If the crowd is not, then I feel a bit down, you know. And when they are there in their thousands, then the energy comes, you know. Somebody may have other influences, you know, but mine is natural.
All right. Yeah. Before we get to take a break and then come back and talk about Africa Rise, the album, and also do the challenge, probably tell us one thing that we don't know about you. Just one thing that will be for our audience today.
Oh, one thing you don't know about me?
Yeah, one thing we don't know about you.
Oh, nobody knows in this country that I love chapati. Yeah, chapati, my best food. Yeah.
Chapati?
Yeah, chapati.
That's a good one. So that's your favorite food when you come?
I love, and yesterday I tasted, what's that?
Mutura?
No, what, Mickey, what? At the Kifaru, what I ate?
Ugali.
Oh man, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you've tried ugali.
Ugali yesterday.
You absolutely love chapati.
Oh yeah.
Have they given you mutura?
No, not yet.
Not yet?
Not yet, yeah.
Maybe that's the next thing they should.
Yes.
It's an African sausage.
Yes. Oh wow. Yeah.
Please make sure you give Shasha mutura. Yeah. All right, we take a break right now. Don't you go too far. We'll be back to continue with this conversation with Shasha Male. He's here for his album tour. That is Africa Rise album. We will be getting into that as well as do the challenge. Don't go too far.
Hello, fabulous ladies. Welcome to the talk show that's all about sisterhood, empowerment, and unfiltered conversation. We will be focusing on women. We believe in women.
We are really changing.
We are creating a safe space for women to connect, thrive, and share.
Just because you're a woman on a bike, you're labeled in a certain way.
It's not just a talk show, it's a movement.
When they are standing, we need to stand out.
From heartwarming tales to hilarious adventures.
They could ask me, Catherine, why are you learning?
We are turning the spotlight on women who are breaking barriers in their individual fields.
You have to have a vision. You are the leaders of Kenya today.
Keeping it honest and relatable.
Mental health is real.
Yes.
Where there is no communication, there is no relationship.
Join the sisterhood on KBC TV for Dada's show.
Nani? Jahazi. Jahazi? Kwa hakika Jahazi ameingia leo. Yuko wapi? Kwa Dorin.
Ina wakati wa matambara ya kitajiri.
Matambara ya kitajiri?
Ndio. Hinda alijipata kwenye utajiri.
Mwanangu mpendwa. Njoo nikukumbatie. Njoo.
Chukua pesa zako na utuache. Ondoka sasa hivi. Nikasema Pasha amepelekwa ICU.
Ati nini?
Komaroke. Komaroka. Wanaitwa Koma.
Lakini mama, malezi yake ulikuwa kali hata kushinda ya bima ya kampuni.
Ganga wa mhanga mwenye matanga anatangatanga tanga.
Je, tumeweka juhudi tosha za kuyalinda mazingira?
Kwa mfano, mashirikiano ya nchi kama vile Ubelgiji, Uhispania na Amerikani yameungana ili kuhakikisha kuwa mazingira yamesafishwa na kuwekwa vizuri.
Tunza mazingira ya shuleni au hujatunza ya kwenyu.
Kwa hivyo hakuna juhudi tosha za kulinda mazingira.
Fafanua sifa zozote za mzungumziwa.
Ni mtiifu.
I'm not ashamed of the gospel of Jah. I'm gonna preach the gospel of Jah. I'm not ashamed of the gospel of Jah. I'm gonna preach the gospel of Jah. Before the Jews, I will preach. Before the Gentiles, I will preach. Before the Pharisees, I will preach. Before the Sadducees, I will preach. So I'm not ashamed of the gospel of Jah. I'm gonna preach the gospel of Jah. So I'm not ashamed of the gospel of Jah, yeah. I'm gonna preach the gospel of Jah. Oh, mama, hey. Oh, mama, stop crying. Mama, 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 stop crying. Salvation is on your doorstep. Have
Wow.
strong knees.
For that, huh?
Strong ways to able to go down, you know. And when I see the youths doing it.
Yeah,
man.
but I love the fact that you actually know the challenge.
Oh.
Do you get tagged?
Oh, yeah, a lot.
Yeah.
On TikTok.
Yeah.
You know, and I have piles of videos of that.
Mm-hmm.
And I've also shared it on my social media.
Amazing. It's good to see
It
that
is beautiful.
You can do it
And
as
even
well.
Kids.
Yeah.
They're dancing it. They're doing it.
Young children are
Yeah.
also doing it. It's all over on
Yeah,
TikTok.
when I met Carl yesterday, he showed me a video of her little daughter doing it. And I was like, wow, that's beautiful.
Amazing, amazing. It was a pleasure to get to do that challenge with you right here on the show.
Right
now, let's talk about the album that has actually gotten you to Kenya, or the reason why you're in Kenya right now. It's the African Rise album. Tell me about it.
Well, you know, I was here first year in 6 years ago, 2018.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, Mau Mau Sounds, Mickey Jones, always wanted to bring me back because of my music having an impact in this country, you know. And we wanted to find a time for me to be back in Kenya. So when the album came in, then we decided, oh, this is a new album. So bring it to Kenya and let's do a tour with it and launch it here. It's a 16-piece album, which of course 3 of my old singles are going to be on it.
Okay.
Are going to be on it. But everybody's going to enjoy this beautiful album, Africa Rise, you know. I think the moment Africa is going through right now, you know, the protests and the unrest all over the place, this is the time for Africans to get together, hold hands together, and sing the same song, and rise.
Time for us to
you know,
rise.
and take our stance.
Yeah.
You know, Africa's been down for so long. You know, so you could hear in the song, we've been down for so long, oh Africa. Arise ye Africans and take your rightful stance. Among the nations of the world, with grace and dignity, Africa will not be silent. We will not be still. Africa, rise for your right. Don't give up the fight. Time has come to unite for victory day and night. It's a very beautiful piece, you know.
Yeah.
You're going to love it. You're going to love it.
So the album has 16 songs, as you
16,
mentioned. Is there a particular theme that was driving the songs that are making it to this album?
Yeah, you see, when you listen to the songs on the album, you could tell that each song is talking about something good about Africa. Somewhere in Africa. Somewhere in Africa, you will love it. It's a great song. I even want to shoot the video here in Kenya.
Amazing.
Somewhere in Africa, you know.
You should do that.
And Africa Rise is there, you know. We have Stepping Out of Babylon, you know. I mean, many songs that when you come to Kifaru Place, and I'm inviting you on the 12th.
Okay.
At the Kifaru Place where we're going to launch the Africa Rise album and the listening party, you know. Yeah, when you come there, you will hear every song.
Yeah.
And the tour I'm doing starting from tomorrow, we're starting from Nanyuki, Embu, going round Tika, all over the place, Kisumu. I'm going to give them, before the 12th, I'm going to give them bits and bits of every song.
Yeah.
You know, like 1 minute of each song.
Wow.
You know, for them to expect the launching on the 12th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And actually the event that is happening in Nanyuki, it's tomorrow, right?
Tomorrow.
On Friday.
Yeah,
you
Moran
know.
Lounge.
Yeah, we're going to be having some of our presenters from right here at KBC being there. You know, the likes of DJ Stano, we'll be having Jeff Mwangemi, we'll be having Joe Karani. They will be there with you in Nanyuki.
Yes.
I don't know if I'll come. I might come
Come
also.
and MC. Come and MC the show. Yeah.
I'm actually a very good MC.
Oh, so come do it.
Come do
for
that.
us.
All right, so if
Mickey,
you are...
Mickey has to sign a contract with you. you know.
Even ndo mtu anapatanga job watu wangu. Yeah, so if you are in Nanyuki, please make sure that you go to the Moran Lounge Nanyuki. Moran Lounge Nanyuki, happening tomorrow evening. Shasha Male himself will be there just to ensure that you have a good time. And as he's mentioned, he's going to touch on some of the songs in the new album. So you definitely do not want to miss it. Moran Lounge Nanyuki.
Embu on Saturday.
Embu on Saturday.
The Java Blue Lounge.
All right, Java Blue Lounge in Embu on Saturday.
And we come at the V-Spot at Thika on Sunday.
All right.
You know, and Quiver Lounge is going to be on the 9th.
Amazing. So there's something for everyone. If you're in Nanyuki, he's going to be there. If you're in Embu, he's coming there. Thika, he's also going to be there. Quiver hapa hivi to Nairobi, he's going to be there as well. So make sure.
We're going to Kisumu, Chinatown, Club The Place. Yeah.
So you're actually going to be touring almost everywhere.
I'm here for a month.
Amazing.
And a lot of people are contacting us. Come here, come to Kiritiri. Come here, you know. So we are yet to settle and, you know, getting more gigs.
Amazing, amazing. I want to get back to the album, that is Africa Rise, the album, as we almost come to a close of this conversation. Is there a particular song that you'd say was, give you a lot of work for it to come to be? Maybe there were challenges that you had to go through before the song came to be, or one thing or the other? Is there just
the whole album has been a great challenge. Producing such a beautiful piece, you know. I mean, from the beginning, the studios, the engineers we used, back and forth, you know, the kind of sound we wanted, you know, we're not getting it. We're sending it to America for a mix, we're not getting it, we're sending it here and all that. You know, the whole album has been a great challenge, you know. But I have a song on the album called Shinehead. Shinehead, the story, you know, about the war that came in West Africa, Liberia, Sierra Leone, and Nigeria. That tribal war, you know. There was a little boy, and this story is very, very interesting. A little boy was born without hair. He has no hair, so the community called him Shinehead. At age 9, rebels went to their home and took him off through the window and made him a child soldier. You know, in a couple of days, we saw Shinehead in the street, smoking, doing all sort of foolish things. You know. And when the war was over, Shinehead was supposed to return home. He stayed in the street as a drug baron. You know, the next thing the parents saw was his casket was brought home. Shinehead passed away, you know. It's a great song with great story. And Shinehead, I mean, everybody must hear this song. Yes.
So the album is officially launching on the 12th?
On the 12th, Kifaru Place.
All right.
Yes.
And where can people find it once it's out?
As soon as it's out on the digital platforms, Spotify, Apple's, wherever you can get music from. Yeah? Not the free downloads, no. Where you can buy music, where you can stream.
I mean, it's
you
business.
Can get it from there.
Yeah. As we finish, can we talk a bit about music as business? You know, how do you differentiate music from being just art that you get to do on your free time, and also ensuring that it translates to money? Music as business and music as art.
Yes.
How would you advise an artist to work, you know, with those two?
You see, I mean, when you create music these days and you put it on this digital platform, you have to do the proper thing. Go through all the necessary contracts. You know, your A&R, put them there whereby you can get your royalties coming in from everywhere. I belong to ASCAP. ASCAP is American Society for Publishers and Authors. You know, ASCAP collect my royalties from all over the world. And every quarter of the year, they bring me my spreadsheet. And spreadsheet, I can see that yesterday, my song was played in Argentina for 1 minute. And this is how much it cost. I can tell that my song was played in Australia, so place for 3 minutes. And this is how much it cost. You know, when proper things are done, the musician will live right. You know, but people just make music just for fun. You know, I know back in my country, somebody will make music, come to the city to make music, put it on the CD, take it back to his village. And when there's a funeral or there is a celebration, he goes, DJ, put in my music, put in my music. And the music is played and people are dancing there, you know. There's nothing coming out of that. you know, but proper things must be done, you know.
I love that. Thank you so very much for just coming to the show today. We really appreciate your presence. Thank you for gracing our show today. And as you're in the country doing the tour, yeah, we hope that it is an amazing one, you know, so that next time when I ask you your favorite performance, you'll say it was in Kenya. Right? So final words to your fans out
Final
there.
words, hey Kenya, this is your brother, Shashamali. I'm here right now at the KBC studios. Look, I'm coming to you from Nanyuki. Look at the venues. Embu, everywhere, we are coming. You know, I'm bringing the gospel of Jah music and my new album to the grassroots. I didn't come to perform in Nairobi alone and return back to my country. I'm coming to you where you are in your town. See you there. One love, and thank you for supporting my music.
All right.
Bless it.
Thank you so much. Thank you so very much. And you've heard it from Shasha Male himself. And allow me to give many thanks to Selector Mickey for bringing Shasha Mani on the show today. Mickey Jones, yeah. This is where we get to end this particular interview, but don't you go too far. Entertainment Thursday gets to continue, and when we come back, we'll be sitting down with a group of fashionistas and people in the fashion industry just to talk about the trends and our identity in style and fashion as Kenyans.
I'm not ashamed of the gospel of Jah. I'm gonna preach the gospel of Jah. I'm not ashamed of the gospel of Jah. I'm gonna preach the gospel of Jah. Before the Jews, I will preach. Before the Gentiles, I will preach. Before the Pharisees, I will preach. Before the Sadducees, I will preach. So I'm not ashamed of the gospel of Jah. I'm gonna preach the gospel of Jah. I'm not ashamed of the gospel of Jah, yeah. I'm gonna preach the gospel of Jah. Oh, mama, hey. Oh, mama, stop crying. Mama, 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 stop crying. Salvation is all yours.
Try fight right. I seek justice for genocide, yeah. Blood sucking vampires who no crawl by night. Burn them filthy ways that are not like that. Babylon I use might and I try fight right. I seek justice for genocide, yeah. Blood sucking vampires who they crawl by night. Burn them filthy ways that are not like that. And I beg gonna play and a bargain. Ready action and tweet and a talking. Pure innocent people you're talking. But the kingdom come in a falling. Really use them guns for your son. You will have no strength when you hold that heart to the B-side cause I'm a son down. We can never melt and a fret and a wonder. Just wipe the tears from your eyes. Cause they will never keep us down. We wear a full crown, I tell you. Listen the words of the voice. The victory will be yours and mine. So praise the King and sing. Right across the universe, the people suffering. Dirty Babylon, no care at all. Is I them gathering. Innocent a cry, plenty die because of you coming. So you can't get no fight and will. Bigger heads, we not really want no more blood spill. It look like your ears want drill. I smell a revolution coming in a very short while. If them no ease up the pressure upon the discipline, try it up go red like a fire if we start get wild. Me want the nation smile for a while and just by the tears from your eyes, cause they will never keep us down. Me mirror up full crown and tell you, listen the words and the wise. The victory will be yours and mine, so praise the King and not another. Just by the tears from your eyes, cause they will never keep us down. Me mirror up full crown and tell you, listen the words and the wise. The victory will be yours and mine, so praise the King and sing. We are go burn them until they know themselves. Everlasting cleansing, fatigue and your melt to the east, to the east. But it with your bloody feet, wicked freeze, fire bring you to your knees. Free my people, just by the tears from your eyes, cause they will never keep us down. Now we're up full crown, I tell you, listen the words and the wise. The victory will be yours and mine, so praise the King and not another. Just by the tears from your eyes, cause they will never keep us down. Be more up full crown, I tell you, listen the words and the wise. The victory will be yours and mine, so praise the King and sing low. And I'm gonna play and I'm walking with the action and beat for the talking. Pure innocent people you're talking, but the kingdom come in the falling. With the youth and blood for your shoulder, you will have no sin when the border starts to the peace I cast them a sundown. We can have a melt on the fret and no wonder. Babylon not use might and not try fight right. I seek justice for genocide, yeah. Blood sucking vampires so they crawl by night, but them filthy we are that and not like, yeah. Babylon not use might and not try fight.
Dance all night again. Roping, come on and tune in. I miss a riding, cause this a rhythm is vital. Check scene, come on and bite in. I miss a roping, cause this a rhythm is vital. And it's a cool runnings. I know that's all I got nights. Yes, it's a cool runnings. That rhythm you a dip like sugar and spice. Yeah. Cool runnings. Just rock with your woman all night long. I said cool runnings. While the disc jockey play your favorite song. Yeah. Roping, come on and tune in. I miss a riding, cause this a rhythm is vital. Check scene, come on and groove in. I said to Robbie, cause this a session is vital. And it's a cool runnings. We all gonna rock till brown daylight. And it's a cool runnings. Behind you we no need to fuss, no fight, yeah. Cool runnings. A long time we don't have no nice time. Cool runnings. Let's rock to the rhythm and the drum and the bass.
Looking to advertise on KBC? KBC announcement services are now available on eCitizen. Visit kbc.ecitizen.go.ke and fill out the online application form. It's simple. 1. Complete the form. 2. Upload required documents. 3. Receive a quotation based on word count. And 4. Get notified via SMS when your announcement is ready. Please note, clearly indicate the type of announcement, service station, and all relevant details. 2. All applications must be made online only. Manual submissions will not be accepted. And 3, announcements will air after news bulletins. For assistance, reach us on email ecitizen@kbc.co.ke or use our social media handles, Facebook, your Facebook account, and X at your X account. Or you can call us on 0723-892-654 or 0734-780-124. KBC announcements. Simple, fast, and digital.
I think there's something fishy about this house, like of late.
Thing doesn't feel right around here. I mean, kila mtu kuna machungo.
You'll come to know that I'm the Marco Ade, the only grandiose exquisite.
When did it start?
2 years.
Mom. Usinite mom, miss mama yako.
I love my family.
Huyu ndiye aliua dadako huyu.
Yo, wait.
Make me understand why.
What time is it?
It is time to go to your house o'clock.
They say the art without art will just be, get it? We circumnavigate the globe and traverse the local scene to bring you art and culture at their very best. From fine art, culinary art, performing arts, and even cultural events, you name it, and we have got you covered. My name is Kevin Kasioki, and I will be serving you this and much, much more each and every Friday at 8 p.m. only on KBC Channel 1.
Let's now talk fashion. As I had promised, we are going to be talking matters fashion. And in studio with me, I have so many models, actually. We have several models in here. We have designers, and we also have the founder of Maridadi Fashion. And she's here just to tell us more about Maridadi Fashion in itself. And they have an upcoming festival. She will be getting into that as well. Her name is none other than Shika. Shika, how are you?
I'm very well. Thank you so much, first and foremost, for having us. It's absolutely a delight. Thank you.
It's a pleasure having you on board. So if you can just tell us more about Maridadi Fashion. How did it come to be? What was the need for it to be? Just look at your camera over there and talk to us.
Okay, sure. So Maridadi Fashion Festival started as a little thought, a little mustard seed. Basically, all I wanted to do was showcase my collection because I've been crocheting for a long time, about 20 years. So I had a variety of pieces at home. And from that, with God's grace, it's come to be this. So yeah, just from me thinking I want to just showcase a few pieces, to this. We had an audition about 2 weeks ago. We had nearly 50 models, so we had to audition them, and I think I've selected 20 of Nairobi's finest models.
So when exactly was this? When it began?
What, the audition?
The Maridadi, the brand.
Oh, the brand.
Yeah.
Not long ago, I would say about 2 months ago.
Oh,
just 2 months ago. Yeah, So like I said, it just started off like me trying to showcase my stuff, but then it became much more bigger than that. I got designers on board. We did auditions for models, and it's with God's grace, it's going so well, and it's become bigger than anticipated.
Yeah. So at Maridadi, what exactly is the vision? What exactly are you looking at? What exactly is the future of it?
Well, basically, Maridadi, we are celebrating handmade fashion. I think it's really important to celebrate people who use their hands and create beautiful designs. I mean, and especially in Nairobi, we have high fashion events, but we don't have events where people celebrate handmade fashion. So that was the main purpose. Also, one of my festival objectives is to have Nairobi being a fashion capital in Africa. So that is the aim. That's the direction I'm going to.
What would it take? What would it take for us to be the fashion capital of Africa?
Oh, that's a great question. I think it would be like designers like myself, because I'm a designer as well, by the way. You know, just like going out there, being more creative, and also models. We need our models to shine, wearing our clothes and shine. So yeah, just pushing things in this space, in the industry.
Yeah. So on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being we're doing very well as an industry, that is the fashion industry in Kenya, and 1 being, well, we're doing poorly, where would you rate Kenyan fashion at this moment?
I think I would say probably, okay, not too high, nor too low. Like I said, mostly in Nairobi, we sort of celebrate high fashion, high-end fashion, but hardly anyone celebrating handmade fashion. So in terms of that, I think we're quite low, but I'm pushing it so that we are
Give us
10
a number.
out of a 10.
Give us a number.
I'm going to make it 10 out of a 10, no doubt.
Right now?
Well, not right now, but it will be in the future. I think maybe right now I would say maybe a 6 or a 7.
A 6 or a 7.
Yeah,
not too bad.
Yeah, not too bad.
Not too bad. That's still
exactly,
all right.
Yeah.
All right, so on this other side, we have the models. And we also have one of the designers with us right here. Now, designer, you are going to be introducing yourself to us and tell us more about what inspires your designs.
Okay. First, my name is Celine Daisy. I am a student at Kenyatta University. I'm still studying.
Nice.
And I started my crochet journey from 2020 when I joined campus. And what inspired me most was my mom. She used to do crochet. So when I joined campus, I had only one hook with me. And I had my friend by the name Janet. She gave me her first order, and with that, I thought that that is what I could actually do to earn a living. So I started making different patterns and designs, but mostly for myself. So when I realized that I can do different designs and patterns, then I could literally create something and earn a living from that. But what really inspires me most is the art of creativity and the artistry that I have. For most of my designs, which some of our models do have right here.
Can you point out one? Or
some of them, they are not here.
Oh, they're not here. They're the ones who are
we have one of the guys right there. He's having the multicolored cardigan. And there are dresses and different other designs, tops, and many others. So most of my patterns, I do create them freestyled and off head. I don't like using YouTube tutorials like most people do. Despite it being so complicated, I like studying my diagrams, patterns, and just reading books in order to understand what I'm making. So with that, I get to be more creative and more exclusive.
I love that. Are you studying fashion in school?
Not really. I am a teacher by profession. I do French and history. Yes.
So fashion to you is a passion, and you'd say it's, would you say it's inborn?
Kind of, I can say it's a talent, it's a skill. Yeah, it's something that maybe I was born with, I can say that.
Yeah. So how did you learn?
Well, I use YouTube most of the time to learn more of it. And most of the time, I do take my time. Since I'm an indoor person, I get to just get my scrap yarn and just start creating something and figuring out, no matter how much I'll frog my projects, but at the end of the day, I'll get to come up with something amazing.
So before I get back to Shika, you know, when it comes to making an outfit, you know, there's not crochet, I'm not speaking about crochet, just the usual kind, like, let's say, like the piece that she has on right here. For a tailor, they'll have to maybe, we'll have someone who's drawing it, right? Who's the designer, will draw how that dress is supposed to come out. And then the tailor maybe will be doing the stitching and the cutting and all that. Now with crochet, is it the same thinking when it comes to making the outfit? Does it have the same pattern of thinking for it to come to become the piece that it is?
Exactly. Crochet is not way too different from fabric outfits. The only difference is the material that we use. For crochet, we use yarn, and we have different types of yarn. So for all outfits that are made, there are several aspects that I use. First, we need to have the measurements, and that is basically what people do use, most of the tailors and as crochet artists. So there is no differentiation from the fabric and the crochet side of it. I remember making a suit for one of my friends for an event, and I basically used a fabric tutorial to recreate a crochet.
Amazing.
Yes.
Amazing, amazing. Now, Shika, clearly we have so much talent in Kenya, you know, across all boards, you know, including fashion. So how would you say you get to maybe point out or pinpoint on some of these designers that you're working with currently?
Well, it's just, do they have that X factor? Like, do their designs make me go, wow, basically? So, yeah, so Celine's definitely made me go, wow, and so did Ashley. We also have a boho designer called Nilofer as well. She's doing boho stuff, really nice outfits as well. So it's just that wow factor that these designers have. So that's how they came on board as well.
So with Maridadi, you have designers who work on all types of pieces, right? From crochet to usual fabric and, you know, everything in between.
Yeah, but basically this festival is celebrating handmade, like crochet, knit and boho primarily, but of course we do have fabric as well. So we definitely do have that as well.
All right. Do you have a difference between crochet and knit?
Big difference.
So what you're having on is crochet.
Yeah. Crochet is handmade. You cannot duplicate crochet. Knit you can make by a machine, but crochet you can't. I'm correct in saying that, right?
Yes, that's very correct.
So you cannot duplicate crochet. It has to be handmade.
So for crochet you need to have the crochet.
No, it's just one stick. That's the other difference. That's knitting. And I don't know about you, but like when people call my work knit, it really frustrates me because it's crochet. There's something called crochet with one hook. Me and Celine, we are hookers, right? We're hookers, like with the hook. I mean, with the hook.
Oh, so I'd love to get into that. So when it's crochet, it's one hook.
Yes.
When it's the two of them, the one that I was doing this,
that is knitting.
Exactly. Yeah, then it comes out differently.
Yes, they have different texture and different outcomes. So basically with the knit, the stitches are kind of compact, and with the crochet, the stitches might be having some aeration. Yeah.
So is her heart, the blue one, is it knit or crochet?
It's crochet.
That's crochet.
That's crochet. That's one of my pieces as well. So yeah. That's crochet.
We don't have knit right now.
No.
Yeah, because that's crochet, crochet, crochet.
Yeah, basically all the pieces right here are crochet. Yeah, on board I doubt if you had a knitter, but
yeah, so far we haven't got a knit artist coming on board. It's just like crochet. So we're celebrating crochet.
Yeah. What is the best thing to celebrate about crochet?
The fact that it's handmade. I mean, and it takes time for us artists to create pieces. And the thing is, like, other people sometimes don't value it. So I always say my pieces are priceless because you can go and tell somebody, okay, all right, I can sell you this for a certain amount, but they're not prepared to pay that. So I'm like, all right, so come on, Taki, I'll just keep it in my closet and just have it there.
Anyway, DJ is here. And I don't know how much he knows about fashion. Unicorn and Jalilia fashion. How much do you know about fashion? I'm a to Borovai.
I like being just simple.
Yeah, you don't like to complicate it.
That's cool.
You're more minimalist than Maridadi.
I get you on that. Now, on the festival that is coming up, when exactly is it coming up, and what do we expect from the things that we'll be seeing on the runway?
So the festival is going to be on the 22nd and the 23rd of August at the Carnival grounds. No, actually at the Carnival Simba Saloon, not on the grounds, the Simba Saloon. Yeah, so guys, please be there. You'll be able to see our stunning models, Nairobi's finest. Like I said, we had 50 guys and girls coming in for the audition. So I think me and my team have selected Nairobi's finest. Some of our models here, you're going to see some more again. So apart from the models, of course, you're going to see amazing designs. We're going to have workshops, like a crochet workshop happening. We're going to have Ethiopian coffee, and lots of other interactive activities as well. So yeah, it should be lots and lots of fun.
Yeah. Would you say Kenya is more of a trends, fashion kind of country, or do we have a particular style as Kenyan? As Kenyans, rather.
Okay, that's a good question. I think it depends on the person individually. Some people prefer trends, other people prefer unique items. So I think it's just a matter of preference.
Yeah. I'll ask that same question to the designer. Do you feel like we move more with the trends in fashion as Kenyans, or we are not really the trends kind of people?
Well, from what I've been seeing, most of the styles in fashion sector, it's more of trendy, because at some point you see people wearing mommy jeans. It's not something that used to be there before, but when it came in, it became a trend. It's just something that people just do. Then, for now, crochet has not been a thing that people do. But when you walk around the street nowadays, you'll find people having their raffle hats, the cardigans, the shrugs. So it's something that I believe that is trendy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Who are your clients?
That's kind of tricky, but I could say that my clients mostly depends with the type of outfits I make, especially for the tops, dresses, and some sweaters partially. We have students from campus and a few of my friends. Then for certain cardigans that I do make, the long cardigans, most of my clients do come from abroad, Australia, US, and others. You realize that the pricing determines that so much, because for the cardigans it's quite more pricey, and when you get to let me not say Kenyan, but the people from my country, they believe that that's expensive, but it's not really expensive. But yeah, so it makes that the difference between the clientele that I have.
Between the clientele that you have. What's the range of your pricing?
It just depends on the outfit, but it all begins from 300 to way above 20,000, depending on what.
Okay, so there's something for everyone.
Yes,
that's what
exactly.
you're saying. If it's from 300, then clearly there's something for everyone. So just stick to your lane.
Sure.
Do not complain that this one is too expensive. It's 20,000.
Yeah, there's something you can definitely afford. Yes.
Yeah. And how do you determine? You know, this will be 20, and this will be 1,000 bob or 2,000. Is it the time that it took you to make the outfit, or what determines it?
Okay, there are so many determinants for pricing crochet. First, it's the time, the precious time that you take to make an outfit. Then we have the materials that I used. Then you also have the skills, the patterns, the stitches that you're going to use, and the creativity that you're going to put into that. And you also have the design that you are also making. For example, let's take this piece right here.
Yeah, you can just come forward with it. Yeah.
This piece right here.
That's made by me.
It's going to take quite a lot of time to make.
It's
and
pretty.
As you can see, the patterns, they're quite complicated as well. So it's gonna take a lot of time, and it's gonna take a lot of headache to literally come up with these roses and flowers. So this will be kind of more expensive
compared to say something like that.
Exactly. So that is one of the biggest determinants in crochet.
All right, I get you. Now with crochet pieces, I don't know, you'll have to correct me if I'm wrong. I feel like most of them feel really tropical. Like it's something to wear in the coastal areas when the sun is shining and whatnot. Is that the case, or I can get a piece that I can wear to work in crochet?
Okay, that's actually a good question. Yeah, like mostly because like crochet is lacy, so mostly you do kind of wear it at the beach, like you have these cover-ups and things like that. But yeah, you can definitely, I think, incorporate it into a business look, because like that's exactly what the aim of my dressing was today. So I wanted to look professional, but I wanted to have a little crochet on top of that as well. So I think you can incorporate it into a work look as well.
Yeah, just to add some fun to your outfit, because that definitely added the fun to the look. You know, it's so different if you came up with just the shirt, you know, compared to how it looks right now. It brought in color, some fun, right?
The maridadi factor. So,
maridadi, clearly, that is the word, the maridadi factor. Now you came in with other models as well.
Yes.
I'm sure that the models here need to strut.
Absolutely.
So we have them strut the runway before we get the other strutting, and then you also have a musician who's going to be coming in to sing for us. So we get to the strutting. I don't know if first we take some music so that they get to arrange themselves and get to strut.
Yes.
All right.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Isikul maridadi, isikul maridadi, isikul maridadi, isikul maridadi, isikul maridadi, isikul maridadi, isikul maridadi. Isikul maridadi, shika simu call your body. 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 Marinate, marinate, marinate. Wanna celebrate, celebrate, celebrate. Wanna celebrate, celebrate, celebrate. Kenya, 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 kila party, 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 una party, 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 party. Isikul maridadi, leta kavela na laita, tufukuze shetani na tuite mama laita, tundani kama tom, nipodaba kama bom, skinny jeans na topa nimetukua ya pro. Steadibility is credibility. Left national like to see stability. Mamoshi kila mali hakuna visibility. Aira star, sabiga, bila stability. Aroma, madoma, madoba. Leo tunasikiza hadi ngoma za Madonna. Makali, mastyle na mastyle. Nikaa tuna show off, ndo venye tumeshona. Magai, alitolewa kidungi. Gai, ngwai, ngwai, safari hatari. Magali for Paris, machali wako machalis. Isikul maridadi. Marinate, marinate, marinate. Wanna celebrate, celebrate, celebrate. Wanna celebrate, celebrate, celebrate. Kenya, 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 kila party, 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 una party, 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 party. Kenya, 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 kila party, 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 una party, party, party. Niliomba nikanyimwa nikampea do, ngoja njenge bila nikampea show. Isikul maridadi, isikul maridadi, isikul maridadi, isikul maridadi, isikul maridadi, isikul maridadi, isikul maridadi. Isikul maridadi, shika simu call your body. 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 Marinate, marinate, marinate. Wanna celebrate, celebrate, celebrate. Wanna celebrate, celebrate, celebrate. Kenya, 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 kila party, 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 una party, 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 party. Kenya, 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 kila party, 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 una party, party, party. Isikul maridadi, leta kavela na laita, tufukuze shetani na tuite mama laita, tundani kama tom, nipodaba kama bom, skinny jeans na topa nimetukua ya pro. Steadibility is credibility. Left national like to see stability. Mamoshi kila mali hakuna visibility. Aira star, sabiga, bila sabi. mastyle nikaa tuna show off do venye tumeshona. Magai alitolewa kidungi ngwai safari hatari. Magali for Paris machali wako machali. Usiku maridadi marinate kisile wanna celebrate wanna celebrate. Tufukuze shetani na tuite mamalaika tundani kama tom ipotaba kama bom skinny jeans na topa nimetukua ina pro. Credibility is credibility. Let not let us see credibility. Mamoshi kila mali hakuna visibility. Aira star sabiga bila stability. Aroma madoba leo tunasikiza hadi ngoma za Madonna. Makali mastyle nikaa tuna show off do venye tumeshona. Magai alitolewa kidungi ngwai safari hatari. Magali for Paris machali wako machali. Usiku maridadi marinate kisile wanna celebrate wanna celebrate.
Yes, and there we had it. We got to witness the models just strut our runway, you know, just to get a feel of what to expect when they get into what they do best. We have new models and new designs, as you can see, new ones right here. A lot of crochets, and I'm really loving it. We have other designers that have come on board. We have a designer over here. We also have the face of, tell me more about that, you know, just having a face to the event.
Yeah, so definitely Kayla is our face of the event. I thought she would be such a great representative of my event because not only is she beautiful, she walks well, she's graceful, and she's into sustainable fashion. That's one thing that really attracted me to her during the audition. When she mentioned sustainable fashion, I was like, tick, 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 tick.
Yeah.
So definitely, she's the best representative for my event.
Amazing.
Really proud to have her on board.
Amazing. So Kayla, maybe if you can get to tell us a bit about why you were drawn to sustainable fashion.
Okay, so I developed an interest in sustainable fashion about 2 years ago. Fashion is one of the biggest pollutants of the environment currently. So I wanted to make a positive change in the fashion industry, and I used my voice to educate people about sustainability and sustainable fashion using social media platforms.
Yeah. Are you a designer as well, or just as a model?
I'm a model.
That's amazing, because mainly you'd expect, you know, the person to talk about sustainable fashion maybe could be a designer who's doing that, but coming from you as a model, it's also quite interesting, you know, just to see that you also are, you know, what word do I use? Like, you really also want to see the change, even just as a model who gets to adorn different designers' clothings, right? All right, so as the face of Maridadi Festival, maybe what's the best thing about being part of this?
I'm happy to be part of this because I'm able to showcase the different types of fashion that we have in store in Nairobi. I feel like so many designers are very talented, and I'm really happy to be part of this so that I can be able to showcase that.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so very much, Shika, and the entire team that is a Maridadi Fashion for joining us and just letting us into your world of fashion. And you can maybe just finalize by telling people when exactly the festival will be happening.
Thank you so much again, Vivian, and your the whole team. Thank you so much for having us on behalf of me and my team. Yeah. So, guys, 22nd and 23rd of August, those are the dates for the Maridadi Fashion Festival. Be there or be square.
All right. Thank you so very much. And there you've had it from Shika, who is the founder of Maridadi Fashion. And this is where we get to end this particular interview. Don't you go too far. My DJ will be on the decks, ensuring that we get to enjoy some mixes right here on the show. Don't go too far.
Mtoko mbona nakondanga mbaya na waza mbona kila kitu chako napenda blow me kisses whichever distance wezi rushe ataka ni mbali ndaenda mtoko mbona nakondanga mbaya na waza mbona lakeside woman yo nikibai vodka whisky ndo chesa kuna line flani munga na dai kurudia tena nina ndenga kwa VP Rashid ndo chesa hindo line siwezi kuwa cooperative na tellers mresh ameoga na haringi naitwangwa rasta misi na ya bingi coronavirus na siko China man nime come through with the simple night man ulinifanya ni thrive na kupenda uko kama wazo squeeze si rhyme nilikupenda sana by the way thanks after kukua my part time blow kisses whichever distance wezi rushe ataka ni mbali ndaenda mtoko mbona nakondanga mbaya na waza mbona kila kitu chako napenda blow me kisses whichever distance wezi rushe ataka ni mbali ndaenda mtoko mbona nakondanga mbaya na waza mbona lakeside woman
mashallah. God, you always on my mind, you always on my mind. You are beautiful, smooth and kind. Mauki smile, unakaa so fine. Na mpenzi makerubi kaumbika na amejaza kama troli mwisho wa mwezi. I hate and I love when you drive me crazy. Cheza chini mama wesi namble wesi rezi. Ananga maringo, ako kaloleni. Ata mpeleke city study si mchezi. Wengine nda watupa kama taka ndani ya begi. Mami umenishana na mapenzi kama vegi.
Blow me kisses whichever distance wezi rushe ataka ni mbali ndaenda mtoko mbona nakondanga mbaya na waza mbona kila kitu chako napenda blow me kisses whichever distance wezi rushe ataka ni mbali ndaenda mtoko mbona nakondanga mbaya na waza mbona lakeside woman
Cheki fala mekam na mezubana na cheki ati Subaru ya mambaru imekam na imeja. Subaru ya mambaru imekam na imeja. Subaru ya mambaru imekam na imeja. Cheki fala mekam na mezubana na cheki ati Subaru ya mambaru imekam na imeja. Subaru ya mambaru imekam na imeja. Subaru ya mambaru imekam na kinini kidul. Kam na kinini kibukudu. Kam na kinini kish. Ali kam na kinini kidul. Kam na kinini kibukudu. Kam na kinini kish. Na imeja kibukudu kudu my guy. Hisi toy siwa urush na mina jienjoy. Tuliwa bumbrush HK ya Michael Brooklyn na Missy Boys. Sina jongo, sina form, sina cheddar. Bila mbesha still machaji walichuna. Ngeusi una mattress kwako, sema form. Muunga mjinga, niko zone. Pass curfew magiza, niko busy. Shbadi ting alikujia magizgiz. I'm sorry redeem. I'm sorry redeem. I'm sorry redeem. I'm sorry redeem. I'm sorry I. Subaru na kam na mambaru amekrom. Zaidi ya mzinga na zile vitu wrong. Munga saboy yepa chum na imepong. Digitali jabakali shikisha na dosh. Maisha posh na maomre wapala nkana nkoch. Taxi na magego za ugoro zinawaka shinda torch za makuoch. Idhani mbaya lola mbota lola watch. Yeah kwa idarasa mindo teacher mindo coach. Zimewaka zimeliet zimemwatch. Mbare ya gadeshe atunaka sheshe. Maybe tukiokore na tukufanyage peshe. Boom boom. Yeah. Boom. Cheki fala mekam na mezubana na cheki ati Subaru ya mambaru imekam na imeja. Subaru ya mambaru imekam na imeja. Subaru ya mambaru imekam na imeja. Cheki fala mekam na mezubana na cheki ati Subaru ya mambaru imekam na imeja. Subaru ya mambaru imekam na imeja. Subaru ya mambaru imekam na imeja. Kam na kinini kibukudu. Kam na kinini kish. Ali kam na kidam na kidam. Burudika burundani kuna burudani life ni mkazi burundani kuna burudani life Abu Dhabi ndani ya club peleka bangu chocha ngumu na mamnangu na mamdabu tunaikata na adabu burudika Abu Dhabi ndani ya club peleka bangu chocha ngumu na mamnangu na mamdabu tunaikata na adabu Abu Dhabi ndani ya club peleka bangu chocha ngumu na mamnangu na mamdabu tunaikata na adabu burudika burundani kuna burudani life ni mkazi burundani kuna burudani life ni mkazi
one lege anguka nayo bounce again ukipita nayo kanjege ni madharau once again bounce again hey uko incognito westline simple tisho na slipo tunavuta maombido tadhani ni chimni kumbe moshi ni mavela dijana play songs zote zina sound a cappella na pull up to her bumper kadere wa trailer akona hagabiki na ina clap ndani ya dera. Wanataka kunimaliza baba, wanataka kunimaliza. Nazituka ki Michael Jackson, leta action. Na mwaga jasho. Sikia ma gunshot, usiende junction. Uoga, sinaga mikama Tyson. Walai bilai, club iko na mabilionea. Vitu zinafanyika ndani, hata vipofu wanajionea.
Zilimshika tukiban, aka drop it like it's hot. Anadina kuoka fan, kono kiwa kwenye throat. Nani ndo boss, hapa na mdishi kama last sapa position. Kanji ni 6 figure, mnangu ni 8 na hapa 9 inch. Manika yangu ni bait. Tunafanya dhambi Abu Dhabi na hama body. Wanadai wapi la vidavi, kitu smanyagi. Sigoni mobe, left, right na katikati. Legeza waist to bed, knees, notoe shati. Staki kuna one leg na party. DJs burudika. Burundani kuna burudani life ni mkazi burundani kuna burudani life Abu Dhabi ndani ya club peleka bangu chocha ngumu na mamnangu na mamdabu tunaikata na adabu burudika Abu Dhabi ndani ya club peleka bangu chocha ngumu na mamnangu na mamdabu tunaikata na adabu Abu Dhabi ndani ya club peleka bangu chocha ngumu na mamnangu na mamdabu tunaikata na adabu burudika burundani kuna burudani life ni mkazi burundani niko na wanyama banki kwa sipori transaction story nashika makash jana bejina mariga na rola majina madenge na dinga na ringa hey niko na wanyama banki kwa sipori transaction story
nashika makash, jana betina mariga, narola majina madenge na ndai na ringa.
Wanasema eti squeeze nina ringa, juu niko busy sina riba, sidai mboka sembe haingi bila liver, kisha madoba mimi na my G-bag. Siasa kikasita maliza, Guinness mbili na toska sida ya diva, kaniko klabu mi ndio nalipa, biz kama Arabu na raha kaya Mwafrika. Man I swear my lifestyle is so wrong, 5 in the morning with a girl I don't know, fuck how my pony this crazy we don't run, attacking the bamba I know my brothers will come from. Now spend you judge, niko na super kona spending habits, kibidi na washaki kushpeng in public, hata sibidi tunaza kupea wisani.
Niko na wanyama banki ko sipori, transaction story, nashika makash, jana betina mariga, narola majina madenge na dinga na ringa. Hey, niko na wanyama banki ko sipori, transaction story, nashika makash, jana betina mariga, narola majina madenge na ndai na ringa.
Walinitokea jana saili siku ama in fact walinitokea Samba John Kihama, nilibumburushwa sijui ni gun ama ganja, months on the run, it's been 3 days jalala, si sleepless ni effect ya handas mawazo na janta, si strain from Monday to weekend, miada mekwama, searching bado mkwanja takapori imejaza kwa struggle la utukosi, this year imekuwa tu scandals na kikosi, yo tumefika mpaka koti, fala fulani alitaka kucheza na msosi, yo itamuite hii kesi ni anafana represent, na mwambie aharakishe kabla mikono hazijapitia chini ya bench.
Niko na wanyama banki ko sipori, transaction story, nashika makash, jana betina mariga, narola majina madenge na dinga na ringa. Hey, niko na wanyama banki ko sipori. Cheki fala mekam na mezuba na cheki ati Subaru mambaru imekam na imeja, Subaru mambaru imekam na imeja, Subaru mambaru imekam na imeja. Cheki fala mekam na mezuba na cheki ati Subaru mambaru imekam na imeja, Subaru mambaru imekam na imeja, Subaru mambaru imekam na kinini kidul, kam na kinini kibukudu, kam na kinini ki ani kam na kinini kidul, kam na kinini kibukudu, kam na kinini ki na imeja kibukudu kudu. My guy hisi toy siwa urush na mina jienjoy, tuliwa bumbrush HK ya Michael Urukli na Missy Boy, sina jongo sina form sina cheddar, bila mbesha still machaji walichuna, ngeusi una matres kwako sema form, muunga mjinga niko zone, boss curfew magiza niko busy, shbadi ting alikujia magizgiz. I'm sorry redeem, I'm sorry redeem, I'm sorry redeem, I'm sorry redeem, I'm sorry I Subaru na kam na mambaru amekrom, zaidi ya mzinga na zile vitu wrong, munga saboy ya pachom na imepong, digitali jabakali shikisha na dosh, maisha posh na maomre wapalenta na coach, taxi na magego za ugoro zinawaka shinda torch za magwatch, idhani mbaya lola mbota lola watch, yeah kwa idarasa mindo teacher mindo coach, zimewaka zimeliet zimemwatch, mbare ya gadeshe hatuna kasheshe, maybe tukdiokore na tukore na tukore.
Another day, another crisis. But worry, I'm still typing. Inilaba siku hizi spendi fighting. Na mahita hawawezi ntoa timing. Na hata wakinita guide, I know my baby will be by me. Na wakiniseti kwa IG, dawa ya watiaji huwanga silent. Niko sherehe mina vibe, na nyimu nani analyze. Who I wonder why, me I'm just tryna catch a wine. We shughulika na your life. Niko sherehe mina vibe, na nyimu nani analyze. Who I wonder why, I'm just tryna catch a wine. We shughulika na your life. Cheki zangu zimenai. Don't you disrespect my lover. Sinalomba my guy. Tonight I don't want no drama. Sinalomba my guy. Chaber dongingero anahero kasi anda. Sinalomba my guy.
Oh, wow, wow, wow. We always have a wonderful, wonderful, amazing time right here on Entertainment Thursday. Remember, we get to do this each and every Thursday morning from around 6:30 a.m. up to 9:45, 9:50, thereabouts. So please, next time, be sure to tell a neighbor, to tell another, to tell a friend that this is the show every Thursday morning. When you miss it, I mean, what else are you watching? We have so much fun here. I have had an amazing time. Thank you so much from the artists that we've gotten to have on the show, from Eriko to the one and only legendary Shasha Male, as well as the Maridadi fashion crew that were here with us. This is where we say goodbye. My good name is Vivian Degwa, and I have been here alongside the one and only Unique, the DJ, and this is where we get to sign off. Do enjoy the rest of your viewing. Goodbye.
Komaroke, Komaroka, wanaitwa Koma.
Lakini mama, malezi yake ulikuwa kali hata kushinda ya bima ya kampuni.
Ganga wa mhanga mwenye matanga anatangatanga tanga.
Je, tumeweka juhudi tosha za kuyalinda mazingira?
Kwa mfano, mashirikiano ya nchi kama vile Ubelgiji, Uhispania na Amerikani yameungana ili kuhakikisha kuwa mazingira yamesafishwa na kuwekwa vizuri.
Tunza mazingira ya shuleni au jatunza ya kwenyu.
Kwa hivyo hakuna juhudi tosha za kulinda mazingira.
Fafanua sifa zozote za mzungumziwa.
Ni mtiifu.
Are you a talented artist? Or are you passionate about a topic you want to discuss? But money can be very hard to find for an upcoming artist. Don't worry, Studio Mashinani has got your back. Sign up on ajira.co.ke to book a session with your music and video producers across the country. Work on your music, jingles, spoken words, and even podcasts to realize your dream. All for free. Studio Mashinani, Radani Talent.
Mama Paul, si kuoga unaoga, unapanguzwa tu uso. Nimesema siogi tena.
Kiniambia mzee maneno yote nimeambia.
Don't tell mom. Don't tell mom anything. She will kill me.
Okay, relax. For whatever you and Jill have planned against us, it's not gonna work.
He needs to leave right now.
Manjuguna, you can do nothing to me. Miskia.
Women's Africa Cup of Nations, Morocco.
Feel the pulse of a continent, where Africa's fiercest women warriors clash for glory in